Peace, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, you guys in YouTube. Peace. Please let me know if y'all can hear me okay. But welcome to the Hump Day Reading, y'all. I'm so happy to be here. Today is day of 6, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the day of 6. So I guess we can get started. Then, of course, I want to give y'all the astronomical astrological account. And I got this really cool book from the library. It's called The Cosmic Calendar. Y'all can see that. It's a background. There we go. So it's called The Cosmic Calendar. And yeah, I think it would be cool to go over that, how they account the planets and what's going on and stuff like that. Fuck it. Don't need it. Oh, I needed it for TikTok today. But yeah, this is the book. And we're gonna go through that a little bit too. Ooh, 99999. What's up? I love nines. I get everything on my nines. 4 nines on my birthday. Nines are fun. What you got? 5 of them. Hazel Red, Bebe, Lapita. Thank you. Hey, Mika. Murphy. Hey, yo. Alright. I'm gonna stop messing with stuff. But it was looking a little funky. There you go. So, let's talk about the numbers. So, I did my own research on everything, my own research on the numbers and all that fun stuff. And you know what? While I'm sitting here talking, this could be doing this. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting myself together. So, today was 9/25/8, right? We are in the energy of Bastet as far as the Egyptian weeks go. And, you know, the energy there associated with every so often days. And I think we're here till like the 27th. And then September 28th, we go into the energy of Set. Then we go more so into the realm of like intellect and stuff right now. But right now we're in the space of being in the center of attention, loyalty, you know, that sense of spirituality, little prissy attitude, you know, all the feline fertility is heavy here. It's a nice space of harvesting, especially because we're in Virgo constellation, even though we have moved the Libra zodiac, and we'll get into that in a moment. That's what the theme of the reading is going to be today too. For those of you guys that have come in for y'all element reading, we're going to be going over the sun being in Virgo zodiac, Libra zodiac, Virgo constellation, and what that means for each element, with the sun being a air, earth, you know, combo. And that's what the Hump Day reading will be based on. So if you want to come in for that, feel free to stay tuned. Peace, y'all. Welcome. Feel free to tap that screen, like it for me. Let people know we in here getting our midweek readings. So getting into the numerology of it all, it being a day of 6, right? 6 is the number of equality, and the Sephiros, 6 is the number of Tiferet or Tippereth. Depends on where you go for the reading of it. So we start the day off with a 9/2/5/8. So today is the day of 25. We're in the 3rd decan of the month. 3 is the number of understanding, Bina. Now we're in Saturn energy. We're in a space of understanding. You know, we get this level of understanding by taking our knowledge and applicating it as wisdom. That's the 1 and 2s, you know. So now we have a level of discernment. Now we know, okay, when I do this here, this happens, and this here, that happens. And you start to behave with that knowledge and wisdom of that. You know what I'm saying? Now you're bringing the 3 in the left, right side, and then the middle. Now you're bringing that to the physical body. Now you're behaving in that realm. Um, that's when you get into understanding, and that's what it means to be in the third decan. That's where we're in the space of now we're starting to act out the things that we took initiative on and got the knowledge on in the first couple decades of the month. We're in the space of wisdom. Now we're in the twos. Two is wisdom. That's starting to put a sense of balance and harmony and truth, a level of awareness into like our actions and what it is that we're doing and how we're applying things to our daily routine, which is what we initiated over in the month of 9 when we were in that Virgo energy of focusing on our newfound habits, our schedule, our routine. People going back to school, people getting new jobs, people usually move around this time. We all in a space of harvest and like maneuvering our lives around like things we wish to harvest, right? Um, so we take that too. We also are in the day of 5. Today is the 25th of the month. 5 is walking in the power of your truth. 5, we get into Hera Kuhuli. This is the divine enforcer. Um, Now we're in that space of like Mars energy. And so what the celestial enforcer does is enforce the law of Maya. So now we're, finding that wisdom, that discernment in how Maya, law, justice, and truth is being enforced in our space. You know what I mean? How we're enforcing it, how other people are enforcing it. And then I just started getting into it's like the upside down of the tree of life, like the tree of death with the opposing Sephiroth. And it just sounds like imbalanced chakra kind of energy for real. But getting into the equal opposite of that, getting that a level of control and wanting to go the opposite route of Maya and things of that nature going on as well. We'll get into that in a different day, but that's really interesting. I would like to get into that with y'all another day. Um, but yeah, so we take that 2 5 come together, make 7. That's God. Now we in the space of Venus. Venus is the celestial technician. That's the building and designing. That's how they make things beautiful. This is a value, priorities, and wealth, and business, and love. Love is the strongest power we have. And so, taking that 7, love, God is love, love is God, seeing the God in somebody, showing them love and awareness and sympathy and empathy, all facets of love. We do love. Love is, it really is. That's why in all the movies they always be trying to capture love and love be curing everything. That's what it is. So we take that 7, we put it into the month of 9. We're in the month of completion. This is wholeness. We are in Yesod, which is Cancer, the divine womb, the celestial womb with it. Um, we take that 7, we put it into the 9 in the divine womb, and then we come with 1 and 6. So if you notice, like throughout this month since we've been in the second decan, specifically when we put certain numbers into the 9, we get back out a different combo that adds up to the same number. You know what I'm saying? So we get to like kind of reconfigure, if you will, something that you're working on to like get like yourself to a newfound balance. The celestial technician, rebuilding something in a different way. Um, you know, Coming into that space of like, all right, I'm going to reprioritize this like this, and this is what I'm going to value more over here, and this is what I'm going to do over there. Um, Things like that. Also dealing with your, different relationships with different materials, says Taurus, and with different people, says Libra, or bonds and contracts and things like that nature. Air energies like ideals and stuff like that you be doing. So that's that. We get it back in a way of the 1 and 6. So we gave it up on a wisdom and walking in the power of our truth and forcing stuff in our space with the utilizing our wisdom. Now we're getting back on the knowledge and a sense of equality. Virgo here, Libra rising. Oh, peace, peace. Virgo gang. I'm a Virgo too. I'm a Leo rising. So pleased to meet you. So this eclipse is definitely going to be a really dope experience for you because it's going to be a Virgo Libra eclipse. And then we're in a Virgo Libra sun right now, so you should be feeling like definitely with that Libra rising is your auric appearance, the energy you give off to people. And like depending on how balanced you are with your chakras, it's definitely giving off of your energy, and it's going to reflect in the different like bonds you'll see yourself getting into. The ones you want to keep around, the ones you want to retip the scales with to see if you still want them around, stuff like that. And then with the sun being in Vedic Virgo right now, as far as like your sun being in Virgo, have still being in that space of organization, working like your morale changing. Virgo deals with equality. Am I receiving what I'm getting? Am I getting what I'm receiving? Like, in the constellation, it's the woman and she's holding, wheat. And it's like, are you reaping what you sow? You know what I'm saying? Are you sowing what you reap? Things like that. So just got a nanny too. Oh, nice. Yeah. Need that extra help. And deserve it. So you start receiving what you give, start getting that support, building that. Yeah, definitely. All right. So we got the numbers back on the 1 and 6, right? 6 is that number equality. That was in alignment with talking with you about that Virgo energy because that's 6 too. Working on balance in that sense. Your health, wealth, your daily routine, your habits, what you're listening to, what you're talking about, what you're teaching, what you're learning, reorganizing yourself, self-management, be mindful of overanalyzing and being overcritical and overthinking certain things because that could cause you to procrastinate because you're too busy thinking about it. It's kind of like, trying to double dutch. You're too busy thinking about it, you're not just jumping in to see if you can get in there. So, be mindful of that. But yeah, working on that. And then it brings us right back into the 7. So now we're designing now with that knowledge and that application in our daily routine with that sense of equality. And, that equality energy also means non-physical to physical or physical to non-physical. You know what I'm saying? So like with a lot of Virgo energy can be materialistic, right? And that's why we emphasize so much in Libra, as well as when we're dealing with the month of 7 dealing with that celestial technician, that Venus energy. Make sure it's what's in your heart that's being reflected on the outside, and that's what not what on the outside is reflecting within. And that's the energy that Virgos can deal with a lot when they want to deal in that perfectionist energy, and that what image of perfectionism are they falling into that they're over analyzing and comparing themselves to, and trying to harvest and scrutinizing about. And so if they don't have that, it's like a sense of like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, I didn't make it, I this, that, and the third. It's a lot of like, self putting down and like nitpicking at self and being overcritical, criticizing and stuff. So you gotta be mindful of that. That's heavy in the Virgo season. Like, what am I doing? What have I done? And all you can pay attention to that energy as far as like that's a sign that there needs to be some more reorganization going on. Not so much as a sign to like start beating myself down and you know doing crazy stuff. Anyway, so we got that energy down on the 1 and 6. Brings us back to the 7, redesigning different things. Now we're going to take that 7 and we put it into the year of 8. So this is the year of transformation. This is a year of building and destroying. 8 deals with Scorpius energy of that transformation. 8 in the Sephiros deals with Sebek or Had, which is Mercury energy. This is when we get into the celestial labelers of things. If you're into the Metu Netter route of it. And that's the back. But when we get into that, that's saying like these were the labelers, these were the classifiers. This is how we get like animal kingdoms and species and classifications and what the different parts of an atom are called and what is this that and what head is a head, toe is a toe. That's how we get all of that. Um, it said that we get stuck on that because we are. Everybody's kind of like wrapped up in labels and what box you go in and what you identify as and stuff like that. So you know, gotta work on that. Don't get stuck there because we go further than that. But it still needs to exist so you know the parts of the whole. Like I know I'm driving a car, but I need to know where the gas goes and what that's called and what kind of gas to get and how it goes in there. but that doesn't mean it's not a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that particular part of the car needs certain kind of attention that the rest of the car don't need. And the other parts of the car need a different kind of, but that, same thing with your body. Treat my body the same way. Anywho, so we're gonna take that 7. We're gonna put it to the 8. That energy of transformation and divine celestial labelers. Also, I wanted to break down the 8 for y'all. Somebody had brought it to my attention on TikTok, and I used to do it, but I stopped because I got comfortable with just saying 8. But let me rewind it back. So 8 is made up of 2024, right? And 2 is wisdom. 2 is that when you get 1 from the knowledge, you get 2 on the wisdom, where you're starting to applicate the knowledge. Like, you're starting to realize, when I touch the fire is hot, etc., etc., right? 2 is also associated with the number of Mayat, because then we get into the balancing of the scales, the Libra scales, the law of justice and the truth of things, the revelation. 0 is cipher. Okay, then we get into another 2. Doesn't change anything. It's still the same 2 I said before. And then we get into 4. And when you deal with the faculty of man's spirit, and you guys can check, my book is a little dusty. Don't judge me, because I had this for a long time and I use it all the time. But Metu Netter, Volume 1. This is where I go to for my journal. Okay, and when you go in there, the fourth sphere in the faculty of man's spirit is operated by the energy of Maya, which is the law of balance, justice, and truth. So this year of 8, which is the year of Oya, the transformations, Oya rules over the marketplace, the elders, and the witches, is literally brought by the energy of Maya. This is a storm from Maya, if you will. All right. So anything that's not in alignment with that law, justice, and truth, that's getting the transformation. Oh, thank you, Mika. I appreciate it. That's getting the transformation. That's where the pendulum is swinging. That's where we see what's happening. When we get into the numbers, we can look at it in a different way. We look at it from the revelation of the stars, the fact that Pluto is going back and forth between Capricorn, which rules over the external side of the root chakra, giving us, the challenges that we experience that we've mislabeled as trauma, but they're challenges that we all experience to give us the boundaries, the discipline, the order, the resources and stuff that we need in our life. You know what I mean? And that's why whenever you want to heal from stuff, you get to the root of it. Well, what created this discipline or order or this mindset on this is how I'm going to navigate through this? You got to go back down to the root, Capricorn. What was the challenge there that created that? Aquarius, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Aquarius is that mindset on different relationships. Like, Aquarius deals with society, detachment, attachment, revolutionary, being unique. Where on the scale are you with this air? And wherever you are on that determines like what Capricorn is going to be like. So like that's the external side of the root chakra, and all is ruled by Saturn. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know how we got here with Saturn being there. Oh yeah, Pluto. So that is also in alignment with the 8, with Pluto being in that root chakra, going back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius and tropical, which was older mindset, and then it being in Capricorn on the Vedic, right? It happens sometimes. You'll get used to it. With Pluto being in Capricorn on the Vedic, so in our happenings, is creating transformation in the root of all of our things, whether it's our infrastructures, our society, our government, our economic system, our families, the way corporations move. All this stuff is experiencing this Pluto energy, this sense of transformation, the pendulum swinging. Like those that were at high highs is going low lows. And remember, I told you this 8 is brought to you by the numbers of Mayat being in our cipher. So if it's not in alignment with the laws of Mayat, y'all go back to the laws. If they're not in alignment, if they're too far off, they're getting redirected. So it's not about, the universe doesn't really go to what's right or wrong. The energy goes where it's called. And that's why we could say like, why were so many soul type of people winning and doing great and da 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 da, because that's where the energy was, and that's where the energy was being called. But now that we're energy in the vortex of Maya getting the Pluto doing its thing, we're in between that Pisces, what we believe, and Aquarius, what we know. We're in that static in between. All these different things are lining up. Even the numbers are lining up to say, all right, we need realignment. We need energetic realignment. We need moral and ethical realignment. We need behavioral realignment. Like, things are getting out of hand. We need nature needs realignment. We see certain animals disappearing and certain animals reappearing. We see certain animals coming out the blue we ain't never seen before. We see land masses growing in certain places. We see water levels growing in other places. We see the weather switching up in different places. We see economic pendulums swinging. We see people that have been sitting on, empires and thrones and conglomerates of things falling down. That's the high that's coming to the low. And then you have those that were at low lows. Like, you see homeless people making it on TikTok, getting money out the blue and turning their life up. They're going up high. Things like that is happening right now. And I say that the goal is to be the homeostasis in the middle, because you have to remember, eventually that pendulum's going to swing again. And that's something that we learn in the figure 8. That's something that Scorpius energy learns in their experiences too, is the power of control and restraint. It's not always, same thing. Yeah, because that rules of all chakras have to learn the power of control and restraint, but Scorpius especially, because it's the solar plexus chakra. It's a sense of control, and that's where we get stuck on a lot too. Not only do we get stuck on the Sebek 8 of classifications and labels and demographics and race and ethnicity and religion, and we got all these different bars that we created around each other. We also get lost in that 8 of control. Like, I have to control this, I have to control that. Like, everything has to be in someone's control. And it's kind of like that saying, too many hands in a pot, mix whatever it is for. I forget what it is that's in there. But it comes to that saying, like, it's it's going down. Everybody can't control. People got to learn how to flow. You know what I'm saying? So people need to, learn how to be interdependent. That's what it really comes down to. Anyway, so that's the energy of the 8. That's the 2024. That's what's making the 8. The Maya and the Scorpius transformation. And what's not in alignment is happening. What's happening? Okay, so we take that 7 and we put it in the 8 back to the numbers. That brings us to 1 and 5. That's the knowledge and walking in the power of our truth with that knowledge. 1 dealing with the ketters. That's when we get the roots upward, Aquarius energy that we get. The downloads that we get, the uploads that we put up, those aha moments, all those different things. And then 5 is associated again with that enforcer, Herakuhudi energy. We're in Mars with it. And just to let y'all know right now, the Moon and Mars are, experiencing their conjunct and minimal angles today as well. So having that that connection today in that Herakuhudi energy, that 1 and 5, Ketters to the 5, see, divine alignment, it's a thing today. Where are y'all Mars placements? Mine is in Gemini. My Mars is in Gemini in the tropical. It's in I want to say it's in Taurus on the Vedic. I like stuff. Your Mars is in Leo, so you got the fire in the fire, but being motivated towards you like attention, you like nice things, you like that royalty treatment and stuff like that. Being creative, dramatics. That's also what triggers you too. Yeah, I get that. I be triggering other smart people. Especially if the smarts is different from mine. I don't mean to, though. I think people read stuff the way they want to read it. I know I do sometimes. And I like being all over the place and doing a bunch of stuff. Mars and Gemini, I don't be sent still. But I'm glad Mars went in Cancer. Mars is in Cancer, but it's still in Gemini on the Vedic chart. And that's how the moon is right now too. It's in Cancer, but it's still in Gemini on the Vedic chart. So when I say Vedic, that means it's still in the constellations. The constellations and the zodiacs are the zodiac is literally a 360-degree circle divided into the 12 30-degree pieces. And then you can divide it into that when you get into the cardinal, fixed and mutable sides of it. But when you get into The Vedic, that's the constellations. And sometimes the constellations are bigger than or smaller than the actual 30-degree angle. Thank you for the follow. Peace. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Elizabeth. So that's why sometimes you enter most times planets will enter the Vedic enter the tropical, the zodiac before they enter the next constellation. And that's why we have the sun in Libra Virgo right now too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, coming back to Mars, being a Gemini, Cancer with the moon. So that's having that desire to want to receive nurturing from your community, but also wanting to nurture your community. Definitely paying attention to your home and family. It's definitely a good time for community, like spiritual events, circle times, and healing moments, and community things. Especially as we're in this like collective energy of the harvest and stuff like that. Be motivated towards wanting to do that, then go ahead and do it. Screen is just your books. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna fix that. It's alright. And so we get from the 1 and 5, and now we're at 6. So now we're at equality. We're at the Tiferet. We're in Leo energy, Heru, also associated with the sun. So now let's talk about 6. So 6 is associated with Tiferet, which also means glory, the power to seek to glorify God and follow His Torah mercifully and always possible. This energy is associated with spirituality, balance, integration, beauty, miracles, and compassion. It integrates Chesed, which is kindness. That's Jupiter. That's the 2. And Javor, strength or judgment on the other side. That's the 5. The forces of expansion and restriction. So like Chesed, Jupiter deals with the abundance, the expansion, the everything, everywhere, all the time. Jupiter also rules over the sacral chakra when you get into, the other way to look at it, because it deals with that abundance expansion. We got into Jupiter as a planet, having like more of an auric outer body than the physical outer body, and then also being like a protector where it like, peace Denise, welcome, where like it helps balance out the energy with the inner planets, to where like certain asteroids between Mars and Jupiter, all those asteroids don't be like knocking into the inner planets and knocking stuff out the way and playing ping pong and stuff. Like Jupiter helps out with that, and that's cool, right? And so when you get into the different stories of Jupiter or Olukun, it's like that energy, or Obatala. Olukun is more Neptune, Pisces, excuse me. Obatala, you get into that space of like the repercussions of overindulgence. Like Obatala, when you drunk too much palm wine, bad things happen and stuff like that. So you want to be mindful of that, overindulging into your senses, whether it's eating, drinking, all that fun stuff. Anyway, if you have an overbalanced chesed, or that Sephiroth, that's where you fall into. But you want to balance that. And you balance that through the Tiferet, and on the other side is Javor, which is restraint. Now restraint, or Harakahudi, which is 5th sphere on tree of life. That's that discipline. That's that judgment energy of can't do this because this, can't do that because of that, this, that, and the third. How are you enforcing Maya? And sometimes you can over enforce Maya. You got people that are doing weird stuff to themselves, punishing themselves, and or they restrict themselves from a lot of joy. They really restrict themselves from their sacral chakra and stuff like that through their peace goddess. Welcome. They really restrict their sacral chakra through their Javor, and then in turn they try to restrict the sacral chakra out of other people. If I can't have fun, neither can you. And so you got to be mindful of having an overactive that area too. So that's what the Tiferet is for in the middle. It's air to the fire of Javor and the water of Chesed, because Chesed can drown everything out. Chesed can put the fire out, but it needs, water to cool it off or to blow it back or whatever. And Javor needs oxygen to survive, but Javor can burn all this shit down. So that air in the middle provides a divine balance. Tiferet is usually seen as like the fire, the heart with the heart that's on fire that y'all be seeing. Yeah, that's also associated with that energy. That's also why 6 is associated with equality energy. Then you can get into Mercury because Virgo rules the 6th house, which brings us to that space of equality. The harvest energy, what you put up is what you get back in that month of 9 during the harvest energy. I know there'll be like a lot of speculation and back and forth about like, oh, the calendar isn't right, this isn't right, that isn't right. I get that. At the same token, no matter how much people try to change it or whatever, it doesn't change anything, if that makes sense. Like, people have tried to control it and change it, but like nature always wins, if that makes sense. Like, it's not going to stop the alignment. Like, I could change it to something now, but even in my subconscious, I'm still going to align it to what's going on, even if unintentionally. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
like half your
saying?
screen is just your books. I feel like you should make it more fixated on your face.
Yeah, but then I don't want the other side in the background, so I'm cool with the books.
Kind of. Why can't I be part of anything, man? Everybody's supposed to single me now.
Oh, you be
All
alright.
these apps sucks. They just don't like children. What kind of sicko doesn't like children?
Sickos like children. That's
Yeah.
why. Get out of here.
Yeah, but at the same time, at least let the guys have at least like a 1 minute glimpse at the child, and then they have to go.
Yeah. No.
Like if they're on the screen for like 1 millisecond.
Especially because you don't wear shirts. Can you pick
I
up
can
my
wear,
pillow?
huh?
Pick up my pillow, please.
What pillow even is this? Wait, you've heard of body pillows? How about leg pillows?
Thank you.
How about arm pillows? That's what we need next. We have body pillows, leg pillows. Now we just need arm pillows.
Right. I'll talk to you about that later. All right. So the balance between the chesed and Jabur. That's what Tipperet provides. Okay. These are the forces of expansion and restriction, giving and receiving as well, because Jupiter is all give, 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 generosity, abundance. As always, more where that came from. And Jabur is like, hands open, receive. And Tipperet, again, comes to that space of like value and priorities. Is like, do I deserve to receive? Do they deserve to give? How are you balancing that? Temporary provides the balance between the two for divine flow. Also provides a balance of Netzach, which is when we get into that Venus energy, the 7, and Ha, which is intellect. That's when we get into Mercury, the 8. All numbers I spoke on today, right? Oh, look, we love divine alignments. So, yeah. So the balance of Venus, which is how you feel about things, um, how you prioritize things based upon how you feel about them. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. And then Mercury is like how you organize yourself, what gets you going and stuff like that. Like my Venus just so happens to be in Virgo, so my Netzach and Hawk are like this, which is pretty cool. Not really. um, but yeah, Temperance finds a balance between that too. Um, Gas, the archangel associated with Teferet is Raphael. It's not Raphael is kind of sort of like introduced in the Bible, but more so in the book of Enoch and the book of Tobit. Raphael is an angel of healing, protection, and matchmaking. Raphael also means God has healed. He helped Tobit see. He told him to fish and then put the gallbladder in his eyes or whatever, and he was seeing. He aligned Tobias and Sarah together. That's why he's good for matchmaking. And then he protected them from some demons. That's why he's good for protection. He was found. I already said that in the book of Econ. And he's spelled with the 3 letters Resh, Pet, Aleph. Oh, 4 letters. Sorry, excuse me. Resh, Pet, Aleph, and Lamed. Those are the 4 Hebrew letters that spell Raphael. Um, he's associated with like presiding over the angelic order, which is called the Malachim, presiding over the way of knowledge and awareness that gives insight. Our hearts have all the knowledge, not our minds. So you have like the 3 here, like the the Keter, the Bina, and the Chokma. Excuse me. And so I said it backwards, but you know what I meant. So you have that here, and then you have the Tefereth in the middle, which is alignment from here to here. In fact, Tefereth is the one that has a connection to everywhere, just like your heart has all the veins and arteries to all parts of your body. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing. So like all Sephiroths go back to the Tefereth, the heart. This is the sun. It's associated with the son of God. The three up here, God, three letters, and then the different ways that you spell God and stuff like that associated with it being up here. Um, but you got to go through the sun to get to the God, the fire, before that. So all of that is here, and this gives us our awareness and our insight. We go by our heart. This is our heart be beating to let us know, like, are we in danger? Are we, this? Are we that? Your heart responds and pumps through your body in different ways. Hey, peace. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for follow. Your heart beats in different ways to tell you different things. Like when somebody is unconscious or in a coma or something, and you come and visit them on bedside, their heart be beating in certain ways to let you know that they know that you're there and stuff like that. Be going, yeah, it's crazy. Um, so you have the Kabbalah, but then you have the Clipho, I think it was called. I don't want to. I know I butchered it, but it's like the opposite. So when the tree of life was created, the tree of death was also created, and these are kind of like. Did you hear news? In 3 weeks, thousands of UFO ships are arriving. Oh, that's crazy. Are they coming to pick us up? Hey, Audrey, welcome, welcome. Oh, I thought that was you, Geechee. I wasn't sure. Hey, Geechee. Namaste, peace. What do they want? LOL, right? Right, I'm trying to get up out of here. How you doing, Audrey? Are they nice aliens? They trying to chill? What they trying to do? So, just like there's, a light, in all of us, there's like a nutshell. Or, when I read about this, I thought about Ghost in the Shell, because the Ghost in the Shell, but this is called like, the holiness is inside of the shell. And they got like, so the shell of it is more demonic. So it's kind of like a porcupine or something like that. You got all the heart. Oh, they're good ones. Oh, that's fun. We like good ones. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You helped me reach my goal. Appreciate you. So, yeah, this is the shell. These are the demonic orders. So they actually supposed to like blend. Like in my mind, when I thought about that, I thought about a yin and yang. Like, are we supposed to have a yin and yang, or is it supposed to be one sided? But if it's one sided, where the other side go? You're creating a whole dimension where the other side is just at by themselves. Like, isn't divine balance, like, don't that make more sense? I don't know. You let me know what you think, because like you have the defense, but you also have offense. You always be on offense all the time. Like, which one is? I don't know. But anyway, when I think about like the Sephiroths and the equal opposite, I just think about the yin and yang. And it's supposed to be yin and yang in all things. I always thought that was the divine order and how things were supposed to be. I don't know. Y'all let me know if it's just supposed to be all light. Because the thing with the Tifereth is it provides the balance between the all light. We need Javor because we have Chesed. So you need the Tifereth. So it's like kind of like a above below type thing. And all that to say, like, maybe we need, well, a lot of you guys already know we need, but we need to, like, yeah, one cannot exist without the other. Absolutely right, Audrey. We need to start embracing the demon part too, not just the angelic part. Both of them should be embraced and recognized and hugged on. And, you know, me, without shadows, you wouldn't recognize where the light is at. You know what I'm saying? Without the light, there will be no shadows casted. Like so what do you can't do one without the other, you know. But this part of the equal opposite energy of Tiferet is Vagirion. So when the pendulum of Tiferet stops, because there's a pendulum, you want it to be equal between the Chesed and the Javor. providing that balance. But at any time it becomes stagnant or becomes like overactive or underactive, this is when we get into the shell of it. That's why there's no place for the God inside the callous heart. That's the shell. That's the okay. So that Gurion, puts the shell on. He rises. It builds ugliness and groans about it. So it's like creating like a reality you don't want to live in and being mad about it. Cause like we are aura, and we just got. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. We're an aura with a body. Like this body is just like a small piece of us. And we're just down here just experiencing this piece of us. Like what the fuck is going on? Like I had an itch and I couldn't scratch it. So now I'm about to come down here and check out what was scratching me, what was making me itch. like and that's what we experiencing down here. And some of us recognize the problem, but some of us are so used to the problem that it's not a problem. And some people are the problem. So, you figure out which one of the top three you on. You know what I'm saying? The goal is to meet the temperate in the middle. Um, but this also realizing in that space how big our aura, because it's not just tall and it's not just like deep in the ground. You got to think about the width too. Think about the width as well. The width is a thing. So you gotta think about how wide it is. So it's so much stuff that's in your space that is you're doing because of your energy. You gotta think about how big your energy is. And then your energy is aligning with the energies around you. And that's creating energy. Our energy balls together. And if you don't like what's happening in there, move your energy out the way. Change your energy. You know what I'm saying? See what works. And play with the you could play with it through the mindset of your chakras, stars, numbers, bones, runes. I don't give a fuck what you do. As long as you got the mindset that I'm changing my energy and I'm doing something different with my energy. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. As long as you like have that mindset about that, be alright. Be alright. So Thygirion builds ugliness and groans about it. So that whole aura is off. This is the Lord of the Dead, also the Black Sun, and the cortex is Zomiel. I wondered if that's what the Black Hole Sun song was based on. That's my jam. The symbol for Tefereth is the Majestic King and is related to the sun, Shemesh. Center and giving light of life. This is the way, the truth, and the light. You got to get through the sun to get to up here. The three. You know what I'm saying? Um, can be seen, and that's why. Let's come back to this. And that's why through these black mirrors, these little organizers we keep in our pocket and we got on our desk and got all over the place. That's why they create so much stuff that's supposed to go here. They make sure they tug at your emotions. Oh, a friendship necklace. That's wild. Thank you. That's cool. I'm sad I missed that. But that's why everything that you see that's like going viral or gets the most attention, it comes here. They try to get to your heartstrings. That's why when they train people that move in business, the first thing they want to do is tell you their story. They want to trauma bond with you. I went through this and I had this going on. And I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm saying pay attention. This is how you let people in to this. You gotta get through here. So I'm trying to talk to people that's been through the same thing I've been through, trying to get through here so you can get through here and we both can be here. That's the goal. And that's what we be doing. We be like, I want to find my tribe. You want to make sure that it's the connection here. You know what I'm saying? You want to just be doing stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm saying some people do use it for bad. Some people do use it to manipulate people to sell their products and shit like that. But some of y'all doing it because y'all genuinely want to find genuine connections that match here, so you can match here. It happens. You know what I'm saying? You ever been with somebody that wasn't matching in this area? The knowing and the wisdom in here, the whole time they telling you to ignore your shit. Ignore it. You tripping. Da-da-da-da. What? That's because y'all not matching here. So there's no respect here. There's no value here. This is not a priority. So there's never going to be this here. We're never going to be doing this. You're just going to tell me to second guess it and I'm wrong and da-da-da-da. So message to whoever needed to hear that. I don't know why somebody needed to hear that. I've been single for 5 years. But yeah, so can be seen as a lower reflection of Kether. So you have Kether on the ones that's at the top, and then you have Tiferet at the bottom. Then you have Yesod in the middle at the bottom on a 9. And then you have Malkuth, excuse me, all the way at the bottom at a 1. So you have 1, 6, 9, and 1. And when you think about what those sephiros are, you got the heart that's on fire, you have the celestial divine womb, you have earth, and then you have air. That's all 4 elements. That's going straight down the middle of stuff. Okay. Um, it's Tiferet is in the middle. It connects with all of them, and all of these, like I said, all the sephiros go through Tiferet. They have to. Um, Again, why everybody wants to go through here. That's why you'll see a lot of emotionally provoking things. That's why a lot of these rituals in the news and with these, different entities that need all of y'all to be talking about the same thing at once to give life to whatever it is they're trying to give life to. That's why they make sure that it's something that's emotionally provoking, something that's going to hit a lot of y'all hearts. If I hit y'all heart, I'm going to have y'all talking about it, and it's going to give life to whatever it is I'm trying to give life to. You know what I'm saying? And some people do it for good. Some people say if I do it, this will go viral, or I'll get money for this cause or this organization. Da, da, da. And some people don't. And I'm not giving them no energy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so the top 3 Sephiroth are the 3 dimensions. I kept talking about that. These are the realms of intellect. The bottom 6 space are space. This is all space. And this when we get into the planets, the continents, the earth, and all that. You got the space. You got the 3 waters up here, the 3 seas, and then space down here, earth down here. Okay. This is considered male, and they have 12 boundaries, which when you look at the tree of life, you'll see the lines in between the 2. Peace, Sag, welcome. You'll see the line between the Sephiroth. Those are the 12 boundaries, which is associated with the 12 sides of the cube. Also deal with the 12 letters of God. Also deal with the 12 tribes, the 12 months in the calendar, the 12 constellations, all those things, the 12 aspects of life. The Star of David is 2 triangles, which is a 6-point star, which I knew, but it also has 12 verted corners, little vertices, whatever how you call them. The 3, 6, 12 emerges from the Tiferet, and you complete cosmic balance. That brings beauty and glory. Also associated with the fact that it's Venus, which is celestial design, and that is the 6th. They say Tiferet, as far as going back into like Javor and Chesed. Chesed was Abraham. He was mercy, kindness, giving, had many souls and a whole bunch of disciples. But it was mostly associated with water, like I was telling y'all. Jabor was more of a self-restraint, self-judgment, only had his children. He preferred seclusion and self-reflection, more fire energy, like I told y'all. And so they said Tefereth is associated with Jacob, which was in the middle, and was a balance between that restraint and seclusion, and Abraham that was like, everybody's getting his love. And he fathered 12 tribes. That's when you come into the 12 at the bottom, the 12 lines that bring you to the rest of the Sephiroth. And then you have Malkuth at the bottom, which is the feminine energy, which is supposed to be time, which makes sense because time is not linear. Time is all over the place. Time has many dimensions, and time creates many loops, and time be doing shit. And then also up here, you got the 3 parts of the atom that makes everything down here with Tefereth in the middle. And then, I told y'all already, you got the 3 C's. And then, you have Tefereth in the middle. And that brings all the different things at the bottom. So that's what I got on Tefereth. Now I wanted to read Metunetter with y'all. As far as, so we are in a new season. I forgot to talk to y'all about that, being in a new season and stuff. So this is the spiritual direction being in the West. But let me go back to the beginning. Excuse me. In order To fully benefit from the insight into the cycles provided, it's imperative to go to bed about 10 p.m. So, not right now. And wake up just before sunrise. You must average about 8 hours of sleep and awake naturally, not from alarms, when the life force Ra is fully regenerated. A study of lives of the world's top executives showed that most of them observe pretty much this pattern of sleeping and awakening. Eat a good breakfast after your morning meditation and aerobics. Your main meal should be about 2 p.m. This is around Mercury or Sebek time, which is the small intestines digestion at 8. Um, it's important to get your full quota of calories, which is my yacht success. Hot and moist caloric sustenance fuel is hot and moist, like in the car. Oh, that makes sense. To preserve the see what happens when you read stuff over. To preserve the equilibrium in your life force, you must also avoid sleeping during the day unless you're ill. Exercising after sunset. Avoid concentrated sweets in the morning and bitters at night. Avoid excessive fasting, excessive sexual activity, and be moderate in all things. The simple rule of living in harmony with the circadian, daily, and annual cycles of your body is the master key for success. The so-called lemniscate or infinity symbol, as horizontalized 8 above the head of the magician card of the tarot, is in reality two superimposed sine curves which represents the flux of cycles. The four magical weapons that the magician works with in this card and in European magic are the four modes of the life force, which Keter, air, Tiferet is the yeah, air, and then you have Yasad is the water, and then Malkuth is the earth. This is fire. I'm sorry. Tifereth is the heart that's on fire, but it's also considered air when you do the three across. Um, the four modes of the life force. This is why in older and better tarot decks, the magician is shown juggling these four symbols, keeping them in equilibrium. The picture states that because he observes the laws of the cycles, he is able to keep the four modes in his life force: hot, dry, fire, cold, moist, water, etc., in equilibrium. Therefore, he's successful in magic. So, the West. This is from September 21st to November 5th. Sunset to 9 p.m. Tahuti is the energy. Your parasympathetic has just gotten the upper hand, and just after being in equilibrium with the sympathetic, which is the autumn equinox, as the sun is setting, your body is cold and dry, but your nervous system is in a state of equilibrium because you're in that Libra season of balance. It is the optimum time for querying the oracle, receiving counsel, and studying the ancient wisdom as the basis for deciding on the course of your actions in the coming cycle. Yes, your day begins at this point, not at sunrise. Um, when the sun rises, your plans for the day must have already been impressed upon your spirit. This is the key to success. And that sunset around 9 p.m. So that's about 2 hours because right now the sun's setting at 7.
Are you trying to sing and not sing at the same time?
No.
It sounds like you are.
Cool. Neckbet and Wachet are again in balance upon your brow. On Hong Shong. That is the Hakal. My bad.
See what I mean?
I didn't read right. My bad. Before the arrival of the autumnal equinox, it is auspicious to cleanse the system by fasting with pungent herbs to purge the respiratory and mucus system. Should have read this to y'all a couple days ago. My bad. Along with reducing your salt intake from this point on to the next equinox, the fast will assist in preventing the respiratory problems, such as flu, that tend to break out in the winter months. So, refraining from all the foods, stuff in the foods, will assist in all that mucus that's coming up, which makes sense, the salt and stuff. So when we're dealing with the sixth spirit of tree of life, this is Heru or Michael Tifereth. We're dealing with the sun planet. The day is Sunday. Red and white are the colors. Ruby and garnet are the crystals. As far as our bath, you might want poplar leaves, coxcomb, geranium, bay leaves, Vencedor. Frankincense is the incense. Geranium oil. The spiritual direction is the west, and the mundane direction is the northeast. And the animal spirit is experiencing hot and dry energy of the sun. It has the following effects on the personality. Positive effects is desire, power, and leadership. Full of vitality, being strong-willed, zealous, noble, lofty, proud, ardent, authoritative, humane, reserved, above using underhanded means in the struggle against opponents. Some negative traits can be arrogance, extravagance, indecisiveness, overbearing, dictatorial, excessive pride, and devitalized or weak-willed, tyrannical, boastful yet empty, or egotistical. social correspondences, certain careers and functions, or people in authoritative positions. Pay attention to those individuals. Mother and father in the household, specifically a one-parent household, king, prince, leaders, lieutenant, deputy, mayor, governor, boss, supervisor, etc., or self-employment. The will, men, ab, the determinant of character, crossroads, essence of our divinity. So the will is the essence of our divinity in the same manner that we help children develop by allowing them freedom to act within a circle of limitations. The Supreme Being develops man's divinity by allowing him a certain amount of freedom within a ring past not. The circle that men cannot pass corresponds to sacred structural lines that keep the world and its events in place. Outside of these, men have the freedom to choose what he wills. But as we have seen, success depends on law and order. As Tahuti and Mayak correspond to the communication of the divine law in our mind, and not as imposition, we have the freedom to follow or ignore it. This freedom of the will to follow or ignore divine law is the basis of our divinity. There is no divinity where there is compulsion. We saw in past chapters that the Men-Op system of meditation is the means of liberating and perfecting the use of the will. And our perfection of this system depends on the upliftment of our character in our spiritual growth. The only time that the spiritual growth and the transcending of our conditionings take place is when we live in truth of our free will in crossroads situations. These situations are characterized the appearance that we will lose a great deal, real, imagined, or perceived, which will be opposed to the truth which must be followed, and the intuition of clever and seemingly convincing rationalizations for not following the truth. The latter is contributed by Set. I'm telling y'all, this year 8 is not playing, y'all, because when I'm reading this, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about the fact that, like, when we write on paper, we usually just put 24, right? We don't put the 20 all the time, even though we're in the year 8. Either way, it's still the energy of Maya. But when you just use 2-6 all the time, that put 2-4 all the time, it puts you in the space of 6. So that's still like 2 Mayas bringing you to the 6, to the Tipperary, to the Tahuti energy. That's still aligning you between the Javor, the restraint, the control, and the chesed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the different ways you play with the numbers, that makes a lot of sense about what's going on in the world today and how you see in different, empires crumble. I was talking about this on the Synergy podcast last night. I was on there. If y'all not in tune with that, y'all can hop on YouTube after this one, and after y'all get y'all reading, because that's what I'm about to do with y'all now. Y'all can hop on YouTube and check that out. But I was talking about how, like, this is why I say high highs make low lows, because for those people that had the empires and had all the followers and doing all these big things, like, it's stuff coming to them. Like, these people, like, I talked about it when I first started coming out, and I'm like, y'all got to be careful who y'all doing readings for. Not all of y'all have the energy to do readings for certain people's energies, or not all of y'all have the window open. Like, me personally, I can't. It's like paying attention. Well, I'm a Virgo stellium, so the details really matter. Even when I'm not consciously thinking about them, the details still matter here. If the energy is not open to read your energy, I'm not bringing that chaos in my space. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to be the resistance in my space. You're not going to have my phone shutting down and my computer fucking up and this messing up over here and time moving weird. You're not going to have all that nonsense coming over here in my space because I'm trying to make a quick couple dollars and read your chart for you. Like, we're just not going to do that. Certain energies, certain auric energies, just like, you shouldn't be reading everybody's stuff. But you got these people that like, I need to make 333. I'm get 50 readings today, and my readings is free today. I'm doing a bunch of readings, and you opening that up every day, all day long. And then now you're hearing voices. So now certain things is going crazy in your space, and now you feel like people out to get you. And you opening up portals. Every energy is an equal opposite energy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you doing all this different stuff, what you think you was building up next to it. You know what I'm saying? So you see that energy coming back on a lot of people. Whether they, did what they're being accused of. You know how it is. Like, I be getting away with mad shit, and it be the one time I didn't do nothing, and I get in trouble. Like sometimes it be just like that. And I'm not talking about any like situation in particular, but like, you see that with a lot of these like influencers online and stuff like that, them opening up different portals they wasn't ready for and receiving that equal opposite energy. And it's, just being personified in different ways. It doesn't always match what they did, but it's an energy match sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Um, you see that with a lot of people that have had empires open this entire time. I wanted to talk to y'all about that too. You know, coming into the scales and things like that. The sun just entered Libra on the tropical scale. Y'all know tropical is associated with mindset, how we think things to be. And then the constellation or on the Vedic chart, we're in Virgo still, and we'll be in Virgo until October 17th. That's when the sun will enter Libra, and then we'll be in Libra on the tropical, the Vedic, and the Draconic chart with the sun up until like the 23rd. And then, we get into tropical Scorpio energy. So we always have like that 5 day window where we're aligned with all three energies. And that's like a really good portal to be in when you're really trying to harness that energy that, we've been experiencing all season, like to the 1,000%, you know. So yeah, right now we're in Virgo Libra energy. Um Having the happening, still putting us in the space of harvesting, still reaping what we sow. We're still in the month of 9, so we're still getting that energy of the numbers we put up into the 9. We're getting back down in a different way, but it's still adding up to the same number to put into the 8. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting like new perspectives on thinking things, new ways to applicating things, and it also is a symbolization of like when, like, okay, today 25, we put the 25 into the month of 9, right? And when we put today's date, the 25, into the month of 9, we got 16 back. They both add up to 7, but listen to what's happening, and this month is showing you, yeah, you got 7. I see you got 7. You're good at that. Now do 7 with 1 and 6. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like erase the 7 off. Don't erase the 7 off your board. If 7 is a goal on your board, you're going to get to that 7. Just realize the universe has a different combo to get you to the 7, but you're still going to get to the 7. This is something else you have to experience so you could be well rounded when you get to the 7. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But like, that's relating to the goals you have on the board. And remember, we're all putting this into the 8. So this is the energy of like those high highs making those low lows. You really want to be in the middle. You want to be in the middle with your outreach, with how far you're extending yourself, the different hats you're wearing, the role strain, the time strains, over applying yourself, because this is also the year of conception. And when you get into the law of physics, you know that two things can't stay in the same place at the same time. So if you're asking for a bunch of stuff and it's impossible to have all these things at the same time, because if you were given all these tasks at the same time, you would be overwhelmed. You'd be ready to quit. You'd be ready to do all these different things if all those things was on your plate right now. If all those things were on your desk right now, what would you do? Call somebody and complain. So, like, let's be for real here. Prioritize and be very focused in what we're putting into this in the stars for the year of 8, because that's what we're going to give life to. So if you want to be overwhelmed, you want to be put in a position where, all right, now you gave life to all of these things, and when you cut the cord, once you pull something from the non-physical to the physical, and you cut that umbilical cord, that's it. The separation is there. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you gotta watch your baby grow up outside of your body. Whether it's your physical baby, your art baby, and you gotta watch that grow outside of your body now until one of y'all part ways. Um, so be mindful of that. How many umbilical cords are you willing to cut right now? You know, um, be focused on what it is that you want to create and what you're focused on. Don't overwhelm yourself. The goal is to be the homeostasis in the middle. Also, with how you're giving to other people, how you're balancing your interpersonal relationships. Are you giving too much to certain people? Are you giving too much to certain bonds and contracts? Is it a bill contract? Is it whatever contract you got on? Is it a job contract? Is it, what is it, partnership? Whatever you got going on. Are the scales balanced? You know what I'm saying? Is this what you want to give life to? Um, while in our thought process, we're thinking on the balance and the justice, and we're coming into this level of truth, level of awareness, and what the fuck? What's happening in our physical realm is reorganizing itself. It's applying to how we spend our day-to-day activities. Like, now what are you doing today? You got a new daily routine, you got a new sleep routine, you got a new eating habit, you got a new exercise routine, you know, you start quitting certain things, you start adding on certain things, like all these different things that's taking effect by how you are mentally interpreting this need for balance, you know. I was gonna say something, I cut myself off. I was about to get into and then cuffing season, interpersonal relationships. You know. Also, that Virgo energy is bringing us into the events of harvest. You know, we've been in that space where we were harvesting in our mind and we were putting that cosmic seeds into space, but now we're in a space where we're experiencing the things. So again, coming back to the book that I got from the library with the sun being in Virgo, Libra energy, you know, giving us that space. I wanted to talk about the sun in Libra. So this is kind of winded. Venus is the planet of civility. She's the reason we eat with forks and knives to say please and thank you. Good manners seem laughable in the world when people shriek and holler, but civility is the only thing that's going to get them to return to the table if they retreated into their separate corners. Anyone can insult, threaten, and bully, but it's a Libra who knows how a kind word can get someone's attention. A goodwill gesture rebuilds trust, and offering an olive branch uncrosses more arms and unlocks more hearts than any poke in the chest will. Libra will never lose sight of the fact that we're all in it together. Whatever our shortcomings, offenses, and failures, and since we are all in it together, wouldn't it be a good idea to start treating each other a lot better than we do? One would think that you're incredibly self-sacrificing with all that hand-holding that you do, but that's not the only way to keep a marriage alive. Your ruling planet is Venus, after all, named after a Roman goddess of love and beauty, which is why Libras are famous for love triangles. It's your favorite geometric shape. But the reason you might take a lover isn't because you're looking for a way out. It's so you can satisfy those parts of yourself that aren't being satisfied by your partner. Maybe you need more intimacy, intellectual stimulus, spiritual connection, or just doing it. You may not see it as any harm. Um, I didn't realize it was so winded. But the goal is to keep your heart light as a feather, all in all. Anywho, the moon is in Cancer right now. And the moon and Mars, just to let y'all know, the moon and Mars was in conjunction today too, being in Cancer. You're a creature of habit, you're unapologetic about it, whether it's preparing a meal, sitting down to work, or getting ready to exercise. Everything has to be set up just right. It keeps you on track. It does best with Taurus and Virgo suns because it gives them fertile bodies and equally fertile imaginations. Scorpio and Pisces suns because it gives them some summertime joy to go along with all that sturm and drain. It struggles with Gemini and Leo suns because it makes them needy at the most inopportune times. Sagittarius and Aquarius suns because it's not as adventurous as these two signs would like to be. Although once introduced to an exotic culture it finds appealing, it's quick to go native. It squares off with Aries and Libra suns because it cramps their style. Cancer moons are homebodies, whereas these two signs want to be out and about. Yeah, it has been kind of rainy. I ain't gonna hold you. And then it's at odds with Capricorn suns because you're born under a full moon if your sun is in Capricorn, and that makes your sun and moon equal partners. The struggle is between hard Capricorn and soft Cancer. Your Capricorn sun insists that hard work and discipline are the secrets to success. You're a climber, not a clinger, but your lunar sign knows that scaling the highest heights can get exhausting. Sunny valleys lie between those forbidding peaks, verdant places where you can rest and recoup. There's nothing wrong with being soft. Besides, all work and no play makes Capricorn a dull goat. And it's in the dark with Cancer suns because you were born under a new moon or very close to it, and you have a blind spot when it comes to the way things were. The moon rules over memory, so it's easy to get nostalgic. A little nostalgia is sweet, but too much, and you start to glorify the past. Open your world by sampling another culture's cuisine. Cancer rules the stomach, and food is a great international language after all, and everybody knows the best way to a person's heart is through their tummy. So that is the moon and who it who's struggling right now because of the moon. Mars, excuse me, Mars is also aligned with the moon and Cancer.
Welcome, Good Burger. Home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Your first words out your mouth are always "I can't," and you're so convinced that you're not good enough that you'll be rejected or that you haven't a snowball's chance in hell. You rather not try.
That is relatable.
Picking up things and leaving the scene is easier than facing disappointment. Mars in fall in Cancer because a crab is famous for being a hasty retreat. Self preservation trumps risk every time. But just because you left doesn't mean you won't be back. You're not very successful at talking yourself out of things you truly want. In fact, the more you try to talk yourself out of something, the more you'll wind up going for it, which explains why piling all the cheaper items on the counter, you'll inevitably purchase the most expensive one. Bass awkward, but it works. That's funny. Walking away from challenges has taught you a lot about how to approach them, but preparation is one. The element of surprise is another. So Mars and Cancer fires up Cancer suns by making them hold on to what they got. It irritates Gemini and Leo suns by making them ornery or cranky. It allies with Taurus and Virgo, gang gang, because it really knows how to drive a hard bargain. It squares off against Aries and Libra suns by forcing them to address what lies beneath the surface. And it supports Scorpio and Pisces suns by making them express their needs unapologetically. Sagittarius and Aquarius suns is anyone's guess because it distinctively avoids confrontation. Sometimes it buys precious time, and sometimes it just draws things out. Opposes Capricorn suns. So Capricorn, I know y'all not having fun with this Mars and Moon alignment together, and y'all be alright. Y'all be alright. But that's what the book says about, and this is called the Cosmic Calendar. I'm gonna get me one of these. I got this at the library, and I didn't realize how like this is something that you should just have on like deck for like reference. I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, let's get into these element readings. So we have, let's start off with air. I like air. All right, my air babies. So we're talking about Virgo, Libra, Sun, which is cool because we're about to be in a Virgo, Libra eclipse as well. Next week, I believe. Let me look. Our Sun is going to be in a 10-degree Libra in the 8th house. That's the house of transformation. Excuse me. 8th house is going to be ruled by Leo, the Tiferet. Ain't that in a divine alignment about what we was talking about today? You see how spirit always be working? I didn't plan that out. And then on the Vedic chart, it'll be at 15, walking in the power of your truth, that knowledge and walking in the power of your truth, in Virgo. In the 8th house ruled by Leo stuff. And then the moon is going to be at 10 degrees in Libra in the 8th house, also at 15 degrees Virgo, 8th house, Leo. So having that Tiferet over the 8th house, over that place of power, is fun. And then the sun being in Libra, sun and moon both in Libra and Virgo. So you have your experience, your external self, and that's also something that Tiferet. Okay, I see where we're going with this. Okay. So that was something that I wanted to address anyway, but it left my mind, but I see why it's coming back now. So Tiferet is supposed to, the whole moment of today's is like learning balance, right? And one of the things that we really need to learn balance about is like the balance between the physical and the non-physical world and the realms of how we interact in society. Because we have to interact in society. We have to be here. We have to function. We have to be in the things. Okay. And by doing that, you have to have a sense of value and balance with your internal self and your external self, right? We can be spiritual, same thing they say with the Kabbalah. We want you to read the Kabbalah, but we also want you to go outside. You know what I'm saying? You can't be into too much spirituality. You can't be so far in that you forget that you are having the human experience. Yes, we are orc bodies. Yes, our energy is very big. Yes, we're in different spaces and time and different rooms and dimensions and stuff right now as we speak. But right now we're experiencing this right here. We're experiencing ourselves. We're experiencing what's in our reality right here, and we utilize those two things to complement each other, not one over each other, one more than each other, one more than the other. There has to be a balance. So you don't want to go too far into the spiritual realm of things that you forget that you have to function in the physical. You don't want to go too far in the physical world of things that you forget that you are a spirit having a human experience and not a human having a spiritual experience. You know what I'm saying? So you find the balance and the complementary between the two. That's temperate over the 8. The high highs and low lows. Temperate says be the homeostasis in the middle, which is Leo, associated with the sun. You got to go through the sun to get to up here. You know what I'm saying? So um, that's Leo in the 8th house. Reminding you the balance in the middle is key. Have that, be mindful of the dramatics that's pulling you to one side over the other side. There you go. Having that energy between Virgo and Libra also brings that sense of having that sense of balance, air and earth, the non-physical and the physical. Libra ruling over the law scales, Virgo being associated with the 6, that's the number of equality. That brings you back to Tifereth. That also brings you into Virgo energy. Mercury also brings you into the 8, a Sebek of the celestial technician. Virgo also brings you to moral code and what your habits are based upon your moral code. What you choose to, listen to and speak on, what you chose to invoke in your space, the messages between the crossroads, that we get into Eshu or Eshwa, Legwa, Papa Legba energy in that space as well. So that, having that crossroad, that sense of equality, that moral code, being connected to Libra energy, which is your heart as light as a feather, it's a divine alignment. Definitely going to see, like, on October 2nd, I already told y'all, like, expect something crazy. We're supposed to be having this government shutdown or something like that. Like, something else is going to happen, with Leo ruling over the 8th house. We know that there's going to be another attempt to get to here. Trixie does my ex-husband Umberto still miss me. Oh, I don't do those kind of readings. I just do energy awareness. That's my specialty. I can read energies. It's funnier. And stars and numbers. But I don't do love readings. I told y'all this last Wednesday. Don't do this to me today. Don't do this to me today. I'm sorry, Trixie. I know somebody, though. I know somebody that can help you. If you on Instagrams, she might be on here too. But her name is Midheaven or Nah. Nah. Midheaven or Nah. She does awesome Venus readings and love readings. And that's what she specializes in. And she's damn good at it. And I would say go to her for that love reading. You have a good night as well. Make sure you hit her up though, because she'll hook you up. She does good readings on that topic. But yeah, so see, I stay in my lane. I don't have no problem with staying in my lane. I know what my lane is, and I have no problem with letting y'all know that there's other readers out here that I like, that I go to, that y'all could go to too for certain specific things that's in their lanes. I don't got no problem with doing it. But yeah, so alignment with the Tefera, balance, making sure your heart is as light as a feather, and you're applying that to your daily routine. All right, so like on these Black Mirrors, it's definitely going to be something that's going to try to gravitate to your emotions. That's going to get y'all talking about something or remembering, never forget, how we always do that, because they have to, harness our energy in this Libra season. This energy of air, Maya energy is also a nice cloak, to the shit that they're doing. So it's not so much like, yeah, we're being distracted from things, but we're also the distraction from things. Like, you can't see what we doing because you're looking at all these other people reacting. Like, how they're acting. Look at how they're acting. We have to do this. Shit like that. So that's why it's, they say turn the other cheek, and people be like, I don't want to turn the other cheek. I want to act crazy. And it's like, if you're going to act crazy, make sure you know how to act crazy. And you and I both know you don't really know how to act crazy. So let the universe do that part, and you just, stay in alignment like you're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Unless you know how to act crazy, then I digress. Do your thuggism. But that Venus and Libra alignment is letting it be known. And it's happening on 10-8. So we have 1 being that knowledge in our cipher. Then we have wisdom, that 2 and 1 come together, that makes understanding, Bina. We come into Saturn energy. Now we're ruling over the root chakra. That's the challenges that we experience that give us the root things that we have, like our discipline, our order, and our boundaries. Then We take that 3 and we put it into the year 8. That's a day of 11. That's a day of mastery. Also preparing us for whatever's going on in November. We have election in November with the circus on these black mirrors right now. And this is a good time to pay attention to, like, if you want to pay attention to government and politics, I would go to state level, because it's the state that's supposed to be the medium between you and the federal. It's not supposed to be you straight to the federal. Your state is supposed to do their job. You're not letting the state do their job. They do all the federal shit. You go to the state for your shit. They go to the federal. So it's like, but we be so caught up on watching they stuff on TV and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna tell you, if you're gonna be into it, like, do it right. That's all I will say. Like, I don't want to get into what I personally do, what I personally believe, because it doesn't matter. But like, if you're gonna do it right. Know what you're doing. Know what to focus on and what to pay attention to, and who does what and what does who, and what's just a face to some stuff, and what actually affects what your reality, and not some stuff you see on a screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm gonna say. If you're gonna sit on that chessboard, make sure you know how to play on that chessboard, whatever chessboard you choose. If you're gonna sit there, know it. And that's the power. That's the importance of being balanced and not overextending yourself in this year 8 and trying to manifest too much things at one time. You should master the thing you're trying to give life to. If there's something in your space and you want to give life to that, learn about it, master it, get good at it. Because when you give birth to it in year 9, you're gonna have to know how to take care of it. You're gonna have to be strong enough. It's certain things that you shouldn't be in trial and error about. You should know. But you're too busy trying to manifest 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things, thinking you're about to be a master of all them things in the 365. And how you gonna do that? But yeah. So let that sun, let that sun and that moon and Virgo Libra help you out with that. Find your balance. Find your balance. Find your focus. And focus on harvesting that in your space. There will be equal opposite energy trying to direct your heart chakra, direct your mindset, direct your energy into a space of being powerless. You know what I'm saying? That's that Leo on the 8th house. Somebody, it's gonna be energy out here that's gonna try to take that Leo 8th house off of you. Something to make you feel small, something to make you feel scared or weak or whatever. And just be prepared for it. I'm telling you right now. That's what's going to happen. And so whenever you see, however way it happens, however way it blows up, whether it's in your personal life or it's something that went viral on the internet, however way it goes off, don't let that shit infect you. Because it's a pull on this Leo in the 8th house. For every energy, there's equal opposite energy. So if you're going to declare something in your space, expect the equal opposite energy. How fast it comes to you and what way it comes to you. It depends on you. So now we're gonna start off with air. So while we're experiencing the sun in Libra Virgo, and then on this eclipse, this Libra Virgo eclipse energy, you guys, when I speak onto my air, I speak to Libra, Aquarius, and excuse me, Gemini. Libra dealing with interpersonal relationships, Gemini dealing with your community and your familials, and Aquarius dealing with society and empires. Uh, y'all energy focused in this space is being more balanced in your intellect, what it is that you know, trying to figure out how to put yourself in a jar. Slow yourself down with some water is key here. Allow that Tippereth to help you out with the balancing of being everywhere. Bringing yourself more so into the physical world is key here too. Like, if you want to manifest some stuff, you got to be here to take care of, obtain, and maintain that said manifestation. You can't stay in your mind. You can't stay in the air to maintain to this earth. You have to use that earth inside of you to tend to the earth. You got to use the water inside of you to tend to the water. So like the magician card, like we spoke on earlier, or like the fact that you have all, you have the Keter, you have the Tiferet, you have the Yesod, you have the Malkut, the fact that you have all 4 of those elements through you. Those are, means. You could say, oh, I don't have this in my chart, I don't have that in your chart, but you still have every planet in your chart. And if you have every planet in your chart, you have every Sephiroth. And if you have every Sephiroth, you have every element. You just have to know how to search for it in yourself. To ground yourself. Oop. You want to throw card at me, air? The Magician card. Isn't that funny? The Magician card. That's what's up. All right, air. This one's for you. This is the Magician. This is 4-0, 4 being a number of stability, the foundation of all things. And then I say use water, bring water in your chart. 4 also deals with Maya energy. That's Pisces water, you see. My man's got the wheel, you know what I'm saying? Got a little water energy going on. Got some roots. Ground himself with the roots. Ginseng roots. That intellect, that knowledge, grounding your thoughts. Because you know, ginseng helps with your mindset and your thought things, but it's a root. My cards are definitely the backup singers. I never pulled this card before at all. And this is Uranus and Jupiter, the planet. So Uranus is that progressive, Jupiter is that expanded planet. So you got these big, airy, like no bound planets, but we want to root them. We want to ground them. You know what I'm saying? We want to focus them. Can't be everywhere all at once. And let's keep going with the air spread. Again, this is for my Gemini, Aquarius, Libra babies during this Virgo Libra energy up until October 17th and our Virgo Libra eclipse on October 2nd. The Hermit card, and I pulled it in reverse. So come on out. It's like going out, going in. Go inward. It's time to go inward. It's time to go. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. I wasn't seeing it. It's time to go inward. Time to go into yourself. You know, if we was upright, it'd be like, all right, time's up. Go outward. You know, be a little schedule like. But here, we just gonna go inside a little bit, and that's a good way to ground yourself. You know, be by yourself, be around your own space. I have a Libra friend, and he says something to me, and I think that's like a good thing. Peace, Virgo for life, Virgo gang. Peace, Queen Virgo. Welcome, welcome. He said something. He was like, sometimes like when I'm around too many people and I'm like socializing too much, I have to like spend some time alone because I have to like clean my energy. Okay, I have to clean my energy to get back to myself and who I am without anybody around me. And that just came up in this moment. So that's what you got to go inward to do. You know, get that energy off yourself, go inside. It doesn't have to be a sad thing or anything. It's just to refocus yourself and what it is that you want to do. Because it's easy for other people. Everybody need air. Everybody need air. Everybody feel your air. Everybody love it. So when people feel your air, they're going to come into your space like, oh, I got a job for you. I got a project for you. I got something I want you to do or whatever, whatever. And of course, you air. You love being air. You love being treated like air. You like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go. I'll do this. And then, you know, now you got somebody else's goals and aspirations on you, and they're not yours. You got all these open-ended projects and stuff with people, and none of them are yours. None of them are your thing. Hey, PhD. Peace, peace. 9 of Wands. Completion on the action. See, this is what I'm talking about. Being a 9 associated with that can bring you back to the divine womb of your side, the foundation of things, but also can be that expanded Jupiter energy of giving up too much. So we want to be that in the middle, you know, never too much, not too much. Okay, 9 on the fire, more so Sagittarius energy, too much expansion, not enough, you know, putting it together. So you want to be mindful of that. You don't want to be giving out too much, handing out too much, too many open-ended projects and stuff like that. You want to find balance there. We don't want to do the juggling. Be careful with that. Now I'm gonna tell y'all what Sephiroth and what chakra to focus on in this space for my air babies. That's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini energy. The Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So we have Netzach, which is victory. That's our Venus. And Chesed, which is 4. That's our Jupiter. Or Neptune. And so we have Jupiter, that expansion card. The Sagittarius bringing us back to Sagittarius energy again. Okay, y'all. So you want to be mindful of that Jupiter. And we've been talking about Jupiter since the beginning, right? Because it's the grounding. And I want you to focus on your Jupiter and Uranus placement. Jupiter is over there, and they're both over there in Taurus energy. Yeah, they're rooted right now in fixed Earth right now. So that's what the cards want you to do. Focus on that Jupiter energy. Go inward, align your Jupiter with this fixed Earth, Uranus and Jupiter energy we got going on there right now. That's the best way to ground yourself. It gets no thicker than Taurus energy. That Venus placement. That's a divine alignment of that chesed and that Netzach as well. Ooh, wisdom in the heart chakra, y'all. Wisdom in the heart chakra. Bring this back to that Taurus energy. Get that Oracle Sage wisdom. What I was talking about today with the Temperate. Paying attention to that Leo sitting on top of that 8th house. Knowing that there's a lot, all this stuff out here. I want y'all to pay attention to how it makes you feel in here when you are reading certain articles, when you're looking at certain posts, when you're resharing things. Think about it. How did this make me feel? What kind of energy am I invoking in other people when I share this, when I do this, when I, whatever? Pay attention to that stuff. It matters. Like, you got to be more energetically responsible as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about the air. Gotta pay attention to the water too. Gotta pay attention to the Venus placement too. Fairness. That is the divination card. You want fairness. You want balance. Balance here. All right, so my air babies, here is your spread. Evidently, we are focusing on Jupiter with y'all. And just to remind y'all, Jupiter is over there in Taurus, sitting there with Uranus and Taurus. So we're focusing on ginseng, which is rooting our thoughts, our mindset. Ginseng helps with focus and memory or whatever. So like focusing on that is key here. 4-0, the foundation of things. 4 coming into that energy of Maya as well, being a 4th sphere. Jupiter and Uranus, y'all, align that Taurus energy with your personal planet. And if you need assistance reading it, reach out to me. That's what I do. Coming into the Hermit, so focus on yourself during this time, going inward, doing some self-reflection, paying attention to some details, some things that's going on in your space, something off. We got the 9 of Wands, okay? So, be mindful of the expansion of how you put your energy out there. You're doing too much, you're giving too much. Nine of Wands, that's 9 of fire. That's Sagittarius energy. That's Jupiter. You might got too much Jupiter going on, too much out there and openness and stuff like that. Again, coming back to the first card, Jupiter. You might got too much going on, making room for that equal opposite energy. Like I was telling y'all today, like you keep having all these open-ended projects. You keep doing all this different stuff for different people. And you got all these tabs open, these windows open, and a lot of them don't belong to you. And it's going to cause some equal opposite energy. The Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, learning how to trust is key. Maybe that's why you got all these projects, because you ain't, I'll do it, you ain't gonna do it, I'll do it, who gonna do it, this, that, and third. Sometimes you gotta leave certain things to where it's at. Not everything is your responsibility to fix. Not everything is your responsibility to come to the rescue about. Find wisdom in that heart chakra. You know what I'm saying? Find wisdom in that heart chakra. That air. See how she got the earth around her, she got the air around her. It's a beautiful alignment. She got the crossroad situation happening there too. Okay. All of that happening. Finding grounded in that spirituality, because you're both. You're in the earth. You're experiencing your earthly body, but you're all of this as well. You're all this etheric energy, and you have to find a balance between the two. They shouldn't be like one over the other. It should be balance. It should be fairness going on. One is not more important than the other. One shouldn't get more energy than the other. It's not one versus another. They're not fighting each other. The physical and the spiritual world is not what's fighting. It's not spiritual versus physical. That's not what's going on. That's not the war. Those are not the ops. You know what I'm saying? What's happening is the energy that's in the non-physical. It's the energy that's in the physical. That's the problem. That's the issue. That's where the healing needs to be happening. It's the energy within these two realms. So if you find yourself saying, "Oh, I want to be spiritual and not in the physical," and then you're looking on the wrong side of the scale. That's not. Pick something else. Do something else. That's all I got. All right. Transformations. Trumpet card. So let's get into my air babies. Let's do air next. All right. I mean, I did air already. Water. I don't know why it's all about y'all. It's all about y'all today, huh? What about me? Hey Caroline. Hey sis, how you doing? Um, for those of you who are water babies, when I speak on water, I'm talking about Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces energy. So we have an air and water. We have an air and earth eclipse happening. A mutable earth. So we can utilize Virgo a little bit more to. Um, how you doing? How you doing? With that combination of air and earth, we have the organization and we have the balance scales. For those of you that are in water, um, is it, I don't know why it feels so difficult. It feels like a difficult space for you guys. I don't know. You guys could very much flourish in that energy of air because air brings the balance. However, if you are too far off in the deep end with your water and you don't utilize your other elements, you're not accustomed to your other elements, I could see this being difficult. Learning how to maneuver around the earth energy of organization and stuff like that. Because, Virgo is associated with paying attention to detail and labeling stuff and organizing stuff and putting stuff in its boxes. And water has the ability to take shape of whatever container it's in. So with that being said, um, it might be easier for y'all to focus more so on the Virgo events happening around y'all and just allowing the Libra energy to, follow suit. However, you do want to get um in the habit of, and you probably will see more so different events happening around you or different mindsets happening around you to remind you that's actually what's going on the inside that should be reflected on the outside and not what's on the outside that should be inward. And I know that could be difficult because water is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Water is all the physical things. And that's why water has such a divine connection between the physical and non-physical because it like encompasses the non-physical. Most of your body is water. It's the blip on this auric body. The earth is mostly water, which is a blip on this auric, celestial realm that we're in, like all of that. So it's like, the divine connection between the two, but it's just like, um, I know air can like sweep y'all up. It could be a hurricane situation where earth can kind of like slow y'all down a little bit. So you can allow both of those abilities, capacities of Libra, and Virgo to bring that to you. But definitely like, for those of you guys who are imbalanced and y'all not in the physical realm, definitely let that Virgo energy bring you into the physical and see some more value in the material things around you. I know you want to live in the visualizations that you've reflected on your waters. And you can have that. You can put it on land and you can have that. And you can be the moat around it. You know what I'm saying? Just bring your, utilize that Virgo energy to organize yourself. And as far as the air goes, I don't know why it's so difficult for me to describe this. What's going on with y'all? Y'all good? Y'all not doing well? My water placement's not doing well here. It's a lot of reality checks, it feels like. So it feels like it's like being in a space where it's like, having these fantastical ideals and of what you want in your space. And it's like it's not saying that those things that you want are not for you or you're not supposed to have those. It's like you can have those, but you have to be practical with how you're having them. And it just seems like Libra is like the backup singer to that. Like, yeah, you need balance, bro. Like, peace, peace. Hey, Adonis. Oh, you came right on time, water energy. Or were you listening this whole time? I'm trying to figure out. I'm doing water now. But yeah, you just need balance in that space. All right, let's pull cards. Oh, you just got here? Peace. All right, you got wisdom. So y'all got Jupiter and Pluto for y'all. 2-8. So finding that wisdom in that 8. Leo is over the 8th house. So finding that that wisdom and find and that balance, that heart on fire, that balance beam between Chesed, the water, and Jabor. So there you go. Jupiter and Pluto. So Jupiter is over in Taurus, like I told y'all about. Getting that grounded energy in that space of abundance. You know what I'm saying? Also finding abundance in your space of value and wealth. And money is everywhere right now. Can't you feel it? Like you can go outside and make money right now. Deliver somebody their food. It's like a video. It's like all these different video games outside you can play. Deliver somebody food. Go food shopping for somebody. Walk somebody's dog. Set somebody TV up. Like it's all these different things that's gonna give you like coins into your cash app, like on the top and shit. Like it's cool. But that's Jupiter sitting over there in Taurus. Like, yeah, it's everywhere. How you want it? Um and then you have Pluto. Pluto sitting over there in Capricorn. It's a little darker over there. But this is a nice, like, light and dark situation, like I was talking about earlier with the shadows and the light. But Pluto doesn't always have to be dark and shadowy, but it is creating transformations in the roots of things. So some of y'all not really allowing this Jupiter and Taurus energy to be abundant in your life. Like for some reason, there's something still going on in that root chakra, which Pluto is over there doing his thug dizzle and the root chakra, create transformation. So go down there with Pluto and see like what transformation do I need to make when I do the shadow work, when I do the root work on myself, and I see the foundation of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? What's down there? What challenges did I experience that gave me this certain kind of discipline or order because it's not serving me anymore? Uproot that shit so you can experience Jupiter and Taurus the way you would like to. You deserve to have that abundance in the physical world. Like I told you, the physical and the non-physical, they're not here to fight each other. They complement each other. The fight is with the energy that's in the physical. So for those of you guys that's like, oh, I'll just unsubscribe from the physical world. I just don't want to do it anymore. No, that's not what you're here for. That's not the fight. The fight is not your spirit versus the physical world. The fight is the energy that's in the physical world. So you have to if your energy is so much better than your energy is so much love and light and da da da, put that shit in the physical world. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it goes. Um, Pluto giving so many karmic lessons for real. It is to everybody, to people's bloodlines, to people's behaviors, to people's, choices in religion and faith and government and jobs and corporations, empires, tribes. Everybody's getting their wake up calls. Everybody's getting their karmic shit. That's why I told you gotta be careful of the labels you labeling yourself. Be careful of the names you're giving yourself because you're taking on their those energies, desires, and karmic energy. Like somebody had said something to me and it brought me to a realization. But she was talking about Sekhmet, and I guess it was like when you play Kendrick's song backwards, it talks about Sekhmet and shit like that. And I was like, why is that a bad thing? Like I love Sekhmet. Like I identify with her the most. Like she been coming to me in my dreams before I even knew who Sekhmet was. You know what I'm saying? Giving me the visions of Arizona and stuff. And then, she started coming to me through different people. People would come to me and tell me about her or call me her. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And then when I asked my son's, my previous partner, to draw a logo for my business for LesNobodies, he automatically drew Sekhmet. And neither one of us knew who Sekhmet was. That's just what he gave me. And that's what y'all see everywhere. And so when I started looking into it more and more, it was like, oh, I see. And so I was like, and she was telling me, oh, my sister used to call herself Sekhmet, and she stopped. She calls herself, a different name now. I don't know if she wants me to give her a name, so I won't do it. But she calls herself this name now, and she has a softer life. And I thought about that, and I was like, that makes sense, And it didn't make me want to stop Sekhmet. Like when I read about Sekhmet and stuff, I love that. I resonate with that. I resonated with it before I even knew who she was. You know what I'm saying? When I think about a lot of my life in the beginning and where I'm at now and stuff, I still see Sekhmet. So I didn't feel the need to let go of my name. If it's hard, it's hard. I'll take the hardships. But all that to say, have that sense of awareness with the names that y'all use, with the different energies and deities y'all call on and y'all call yourselves, because y'all taking on their karmic energy too. Whether the good deeds that they done and the bad. So, Ask yourself if that's the energy you want to take on. If that's really what you want to be. Because you're calling on that in your vortex and stuff like that. Let's come back to water. The Fool card. Be mindful of the name you're calling yourself. Is that what, being all over the place, not really enjoying the space as a child, but kind of like being manipulative. That little, what is that? The tool of seduction of playing oblivious to things, but not really being oblivious, being a little bit more destructive than anything. Be more careful. Be more careful. Yeah, align your go do that Pluto work. Align your Pluto with this Capricorn Pluto that we're experiencing now in retrograde. Get to the root of why you're not allowing your Jupiter to do the things that Jupiter wants to do for you while it's sitting over there in Taurus. Especially because it's in Taurus on the Vedic chart too. So like a long time that was in our mindset. So, deal with the tropical chart at this moment because it's more so a mindset thing. And once you loosen up the mindset, then go to the Vedic and you can get to the happenings of it. Thank you for the follow. 9 of Chalices in reverse. Not flowing through things, not nurturing things, not being in the space of teams. What are we saying about you, water? Y'all good. It don't feel good. There's stuff going on right now with the waters. Y'all be careful. Do the Pluto. Is there it feels like a water sign in trouble. Like a lot of water energy was doing a lot of imbalanced things. Four of Cups, the Moon in Cancer. You're going to focus on the chesed, having more mercy, more kindness, more giving. That's what we want to work on. More kindness, more in alignment with Mayat, more giving. The Moon is in Cancer right now too, so it's a good time to tap into that energy. Aligning with chesed, which is chesed is when we get to the kindness of things. That's when we're in when we're in Jupiter. Bring you back to Jupiter, right? That abundance in Taurus waiting for you. You just gotta do that root work, do that shadow work. Chakra we're gonna focus on. The sacral chakra. Sacral chakra of completion. Completion. Letting some things go, letting some facets of you die off. We gotta go down to the root chakra so that you can complete some things that's in the sacral. Certain parts of you that gotta be gone for the joy to come, for you to make space for the things. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Contentment. Oh, and it has a 2-5 at the top. And then it's it was the 25th, now it's the 26th. But wisdom and walking in the power of your truth, bringing you to that energy of God, that Netzach. That's what I got for y'all, water babies. Y'all gotta work on that wisdom. Focus on Jupiter and Pluto. Right now, Jupiter is in Taurus, giving us that abundance in the heart chakra, and Pluto is giving us that transformation in our root chakra. You got the Fool in reverse, then you got the 9 of Cups in reverse. So we're gonna work on aligning, with the Fool, having a sense of awareness, being more careful. Moral and integral code needs to be checked here between these two reverse cards. Rebalance yourself. It's a sense of incompletion. It's just like the energy just feels off. Focus on this Moon in Cancer in the space and time. The intuitive energy. Mars is in Cancer too, so Moon and Mars is in Cancer. Right now, aligning with that solar plexus chakra, the enforcer, the celestial enforcer. Be mindful of that controlling energy, have insight on that. Uh, Again, aligning with the home and family. And then completion, which is the sacral chakra. Finding certain parts of yourself that need to go away so that expansion can come because you do deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And then contentment, man. Moving gratitude for what you already had. That's what I got for you, water babies. Um, Now we have, let's do fire. All right, fire. So y'all dealing with more of an alchemy, a little better. So y'all dealing with the alchemy kind of thing. There's something going on with y'all water babies. I don't think y'all good, or your water placements. Something not good over there. Y'all gotta come down a little bit, a little grounded. It feels real tense. All right, so fire. let's go back. Let's go back over here. Me and my big ass water bottle. Y'all playing like the magician card a little bit too, right? Because we're dealing with earth and air, and you guys are fire. So you allow the earth, probably like a sandy type of situation, keep you kind of cool, calm, cool, collected. Don't let the air get you too crazy because I know y'all can get real passionate, especially when the yacht scales are imbalanced. The fire do like to pull up and show out. We don't want to fuck around and find out with the fire under the Libra energy, but we know the fire does take heat. We do feel a lot of fire with our youth. Um, Attracted another really good video. Excuse me as I fall apart. um, but I saw another really good video earlier that was talking about the youth, and they were talking about how our youth, these are the babies we gave birth to. Like, me personally, my dad was the one that was like, he was the first black sheep I experienced because everybody was still going to church, and my dad was watching church on TV. He was watching, what's the pastor named Jenkins, and I remember sitting there watching it with him, and he didn't do holidays and all these different things, and everybody else did. So like that was the energy that I experienced with my dad. With my mom, it was like she had her bumping Bible thumping stage, and then she had her periods of time without it. And I experienced all of those things with my mom, her different phases and stuff that she went through. And so, in my age, it's just like I had like a different kind of interpretation of the different things I was experiencing. It wasn't in alignment to how everybody else was absorbing church or school or this or that. Like it just, everything was a game to me. You know what I'm saying? And playing the school shit like a game. I know how to get straight A's. I know how to play the game. I'm really good at it. I know how to like study. I know how to program stuff in my brain. Like I know how to I just know how to do certain things. I know how to like maneuver certain things around. Like that's how I always played it. And religion just seemed like, okay, this is like a soul contract. I gotta come down here and do the things, and this stuff and that and the third. Like, just always had this mindset. So imagine, I was born with all the eggs I'll ever give life to. So throughout my whole journey, I'm listening to all these people in my life, and so are my eggs. And then I'm coming across these different like conversations and stuff like that. Like if I were to have a baby right now that's been listening to all the stuff that I've been doing all these years, yo, that baby would be so fucking dope. But like, put into consideration that these are the kind of children that we had, though. We had children that grew up to what we've listened to, what we're doing, listening to music, F the system, F the police, F the government. The government don't care about black people. Religion is this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third. So now that we have this youth, and this youth, they don't give a fuck about none of this shit. And we created them with our energy. Like this is what we created, and now we created it, and we don't want to nurture them. We don't want to guide them. We don't want to give them our energy. We don't want to give them direction with their anger. We just want to tell them that they're angry, and that's just not good. It's not good enough, and it's just like that's not fair to this generation. That seems to be the fire generation. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to them. What is there? A lot of their like my Pluto is in Scorpio, so I would think that a lot of their Plutos are in Sagittarius, right? And then we have the Plutos in Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? So it's that fire generation that's here, and Like, what are we doing to help them? Like, are we standing our post to those that have their Pluto and Scorpio? Are y'all, standing y'all post and y'all doing what y'all supposed to do, and y'all directing and y'all leading and y'all taking these leadership roles, and y'all, are the Plutos and Libra doing their job of enforcing Maya? You know, especially in this year 8. What is y'all doing? Is y'all balancing the scales? You know what I'm saying? The Plutos and Virgo, they still here. They should still be here doing stuff. When you think about the cycle, yeah, they're doing stuff. So forth and so on. Pluto and Virgo bringing out. Oh yeah. No, organizing, maintaining, celestial technicians. They're supposed to be like the inventors, bringing things into the physical, building on the things and stuff like that. Like, are people doing their post so that these Pluto and fire and the Pluto and Capricorn, so that these descendants that we gave birth to, so that their empires can rise accordingly to the element that they are, to the celestial energy that they are. I don't think we are, because if we were, they would be in a better space. They would have more direction towards that fire and towards that Capricorn of rebuilding. They're not here to do what's already been done. They're here to do something new. We're not creating a space for them to do it, because we need to focus on we focusing on stuff that doesn't matter, and we're not being present. We're focusing on the things on the black mirrors, and we're not being present in our communities for these youth. We're not. And when I speak to y'all, I'm speaking to myself. We do a lot of things for other adults, like we got the retreats and the open mics and the 420 things and this, that, and the third. We got those things. But what are we doing for the kids? What are we doing? How is all of this setting them up? A lot of us use community as a marketing tool for our events. Oh, it's a community event. If it's a community event, how is it enhancing the community? Or y'all just having a good time? You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. We got to work on that. Maya and Oya with the 2024, they gonna switch that shit too. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna get more and more difficult to do that shit. And now you really gotta have community building events. Now what? You know what I'm saying? Get it together now, while you have the freedom and it's not like a crazy space. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my fire babies. Y'all get fired up. Y'all like to be the head of things. When I speak to fire, I speak to Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Um, you know, destruction. Passion. It comes with passion, compassionate energy, heightened emotions. I speak to y'all all the time. Everything don't deserve heightened emotions. Hopefully y'all allowed that Virgo energy to give y'all the calm that y'all need. But for those who don't, Virgo is still here to the 17th to give it to you. Libra will test you. There will be energy that's not in alignment with Maya. It will be energy that's going to test you. So much air around you is going to test you. The speed that we flow through Libra energy is going to test you with your patience and what you want and what you're passionate about and what you're talking about. And when you see the lack of balance in other spaces and things, it's going to test you. And I just want y'all to just hold on to that Virgo energy when you feel that air just becoming too much for you. Um, stand the test of the air. It's going to be okay. It can be a lot. It can be a lot. Especially when you guys are going to be the fire that shed light on what's not in alignment with Maya, because those scales is going to give y'all so much more passion and compassion. You know what I'm saying? Whatever injustices y'all see, no matter how big or small, no matter what facet of life they're coming from, is y'all going to be the ones. It's going to be a fire sign that's going to do some nut shit, bro, in response. Um, expect some fire sign fights, some fire sign arguments, some fire sign interventions, something. But for y'all, just have discernment with where you putting that fire at. Be smart. Utilize that Aries. Aries just ain't all war. Aries has intellect to it. It's strategic. So be mindful of that. All right, let's pull some cards for the fire signs. Breakthrough. Mars. We got Mars and Uranus. So Mars is over there in Gemini. Cancer energy. It's actually in alignment with the moon right now, which we talked about. But it's in Cancer and the thought process and tropical, nurturing that Mars energy. And then it's in Gemini, still in the Vedic, and it happens. Uranus is over there in Taurus. We talked about that too. And so is Ginkgo. More brain power, more intellect, swords energy, that Libra, air energy. Um, yeah, ginkgo biloba helps with the mindset, your thought process. Uranus, heart, Taurus, Mars. Be strategic. See how my cards be my backup singers. But yes, be strategic with your fire. It's okay to be passionate and compassionate and have emotion towards things, but everything don't deserve. Some stuff does deserve that heightened level of fire, and I feel like those things that you're about to give all that fire to definitely deserve those things. I want you to be smart about how you give all that fire out, though, because all that fire, if you're not being smart with how you put it out, it's going to push back on you like crazy. And I know that's not your intentions. Your intentions is not to burn yourself or to accidentally burn anything else aside from the target. So be smart. I ain't gonna tell you no though, because I kind of like the destruction that you got under your sleeve. But be smart.
Hi.
Throwing cards at me. A Queen of Wands. Okay. And I picked it up like this, but we can go both ways wherever let's do both because we don't even know. But the Queen of Wands, either moving in a direction, you're being nice about it, kind and thoughtful and all those things, or you being conniving and manipulative and a little funny moving, a little snaky moving versus being on the other side. And I don't care whichever way you utilize this fire. Remember, this is the Queen of Wands. I don't care whichever reason or way you utilize that fire, because some of y'all do need to use it for this. Some of y'all do need to use it for the snake. And some of y'all do need to use it like this. Y'all need to know how to, maybe that's why I picked it up like that. Maybe y'all need to know how to use both sides. Use both of them. But be smart about how you use that fire. Don't just be spitting that shit out. We both know you need to spit that shit out. Like, what's his name? Cyclops. Get them glasses so you can laser beam. And that came from him touching his temple. The Hermit card. Y'all coming out, because I got it upward. But y'all coming out, you got all the elements, playing with all the elements, using all the elements. We're in 11. We're in the space of mastery. We're mastering the things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're in a hermit with it. You're going inward with it. You're having those conversations with yourself, checking yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go down. Check yourself. Have a conversation. Have a better relationship with yourself and how you restrain yourself. Use that Javora to restrain yourself just as much as you would use that Javora to restrain other people, other situations. You know what I'm saying? Self-discipline ain't never hurt nobody. Oh, y'all need to focus on the moon in Cancer too. Today actually is a moon in Cancer, so today is a good day. You align with sunshine on a good day. To all my fire babies, you know what I'm saying? Listen to sunshine under the Cancer moon. And look at sunshine over here under the Cancer moon. But yeah, nurturing your third eye, nurturing your intuitive spirit. Home and family is key here. Go to what nurtures you. What nurtures you energetically. What makes you feel comfortable. That is the space to go to for solace. Give yourself some chesed to that Javora. That's also what it says because it is associated with chesed. So that's what you need. You need a little bit more kindness. And that kindness will help you in your way of expressing your festivity, the level of festivity, joy in the solar plexus chakra. Because joy in the solar plexus chakra is important because you still get your point across, you still set your boundaries, you still got that don't mess with me, don't do that energy in your solar plexus chakra, but you have it in a way of you're not being disrespectful. You're not being rude. You're setting a boundary, and it's not creating confrontation. It's not creating issues. It's not creating discomfort. It's not doing any of those things. Um, yeah, allow yourself to have that. Men's meeting of the minds happening. Y'all got a meeting happening, and that is where you guys are going to give people your fire and tell people to kiss your ass. I want you to, again, pay attention to this Mars and Cancer Gemini, nurturing that energy, communication, community, and Uranus. That progressive push is happening over there in that Taurus energy. Progressive pushes in our heart chakra, sense of value and priority and stuff like that. So get your breakthrough in that. This is a 3-9 understanding on a sense of being born, giving birth to our level of understanding on things. Um, we picked this up on the sideways, John. So having that discernment. Some of y'all need to pour out that fire in a funky way. Some of y'all need to do it in a nice way. We don't know, but you know. Go inward and have that conversation to find out. You know what I'm saying? Go inward, have that conversation, find out how you're going to flip those elements because you have them all. Focus on this moon and Cancer energy. This is 4 of Cups, chesed, and that's how it's going to help you having that mercy, having that kindness. That's what's going to help you with how you dispel this fire. More empathy, more sympathy, more joy in the solar plexus chakra. Because when you're joyous, you still have that enforcement, you still have that discipline, still have those boundaries and stuff like that, but you're not being disrespectful, you're not being nasty. You know, in whatever meeting y'all got coming up, whatever organization and stuff y'all got coming up, that's where the fire is going to come out. That's when you're going to tell people they can go to hell, but you're going to do it in a nice way. You're going to say, please and thank you. Go to hell. All right, so that's what I got for you, fire babies. Now we're going to get into the earth. And when I speak to earth, I speak to Taurus, I speak to Virgo, and I speak to Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For those of you guys, your mindset is definitely going to be in alignment with what you want to manifest, what you want to materialize. Not mindset, happenings around you. Excuse me. The mindset is in Libra, so the mindset might be moving a little bit faster than what you would like. You know, time moving faster than you, space moving faster than you. It's okay. Just take a breath. It's in your mind. It's in the how you think things are to be. That's how in your thought process, getting lost in thoughts for too long period of time or whatever. But this is also the wind that's blowing your seeds. You guys are the builders. You guys are the creators. That is the earth energy you have. You guys have different levels of creation that y'all do. You know your place. You know your aspects or whatever. Allow the sun to blow those seeds. You know what I'm saying? Allow the sun and Libra to blow those seeds for you. Create a sense of balance between the physical and the non-physical realm. You know what I'm saying? It's going to blow those seeds. Other people need to hear your goals. Other people need to hear your dreams, because they have a part in it. There's certain things that they have to do. Certain people you need to talk to, certain people you need to meet, but if they don't know about you because you're over there being quiet, you're not gonna be able to meet them. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of that. I know y'all like to be rigid, y'all like to be to yourselves because y'all feel so solid on your own 1 and 2, but there is a collective 1 and 2 that y'all need to learn how to align with in a better, healthier way. Interdependency, not codependency. So don't start mislabeling things because you get in your own way with how you think things are going to be. All right, all right. So allow Libra to blow those cosmic seeds in your space of manifesting. Allow Virgo to be supportive of you as well because it's a mutable earth. So whether you're fixed earth or cardinal earth, you still get to experience this Virgo energy of harvest. Allow your things to come into fruition. Love here. Love here. Let's pull a card. Nurture. Okay. Okay, nurture. We're going to focus on our Chiron wounds. Ooh, I didn't like that. Focus on your Chiron, and we're going to focus on our Jupiter as well. And we're going to nurture them. Jupiter sitting over there in Taurus right now, giving us expansion in that Venus energy, the heart chakra, value, wealth, and love. Chiron is sitting over there in Aries, new beginnings, fire energy, enforcement, more enforcement of my yacht to help transmute those wounds into strengths or whatever. We're utilizing that energy, the enforcers. And so that's what we have. The celestial technicians over our space of expansion, and the celestial enforcers over our wounds and how we're transmuting them. And we're just nurturing both, and we feel good about it. We love it here. Lemon balm, I love lemon balm. I love the way it smells. You know what I'm saying? That's great for the sinuses. We love it here. Our earth babies. Some of y'all getting sick. Fix it. It's at a 52 as well. So that's, walking in the power of your truth. Also dealing with Herakubuti, the energy of the enforcer. And then 2, dealing with the energy of wisdom. Chokma. That brings us to 7 of God. And today, well, kind of today was the 25th, but then I pulled the 52 for y'all. 7 is Netzach, which is victory. That's when we get into the Venusian realms of things. The celestial designers. We're designing things. That's what it is. So yeah, nurturing. Nurture those wounds. Nurture your sacral chakra. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your strengths too. Knowing that your strengths are rooted in wounds. Be kind to your strengths. You don't got to utilize your strengths all over the place everywhere. Especially for my Grinches at the mountaintops. Like to separate yourself. And that's a strength for you to be so independent, to be able to do things for yourself, because you come from a space where you couldn't. So you're trying to be the adult for your inner child, but don't forget that strength comes from a wound. You know what I'm saying? And treat it accordingly. Hey, little lollipops, welcome. Thank you for the follow. The Hangman. See, I told y'all, my cards are just backup singers. They're just backup singers for me. I'm the lead. I'm Beyonce. I'm David Ruffin. It's the Hangman. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Your strengths are sensitive too, and they deserve to be sensitive. And their sensitivity is actually a strength in itself. Being vulnerable is a strength. Love is a strength. All this soft, mushy stuff is a strength. It's strength in that. It's strength in vaginas and being one, having one, right? It's, don't forget what it's rooted in, so you can be nice to it, so you can nurture it, you can hug yourself. Like, I know that I'm a good worker. I know I'm good at healing people. It's what I like to do. It's what I prefer to do. I love to heal. And so, knowing that I like to do that, comes from wound. So sometimes I have to nurture me. I can't be available to everybody all the time and stuff like that, because I'm aware that my desire to help people all the time comes from a wound. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it makes me feel good. Yeah, it's a strength. Yeah, a lot of people like me for it. Always coming through, always helping, always doing shit for free, always pulling up, always celebrating, always supporting. However, it does come from a childhood wound. People not showing up for me. People not doing things for me. Stuff like that. And so I gotta remember it. And sometimes I gotta draw back a little bit. That's that self-awareness. A lot of people think that certain childhood wounds that they have learned to exercise as a strength, can be eradicated. But it's not eradicated. This is your Saturn. These are the experiences that you needed to experience to give you the roots that you had. And you just gotta learn how to balance them and not have them have you all in doom and gloom, because that's what's making your aura the way it is, and that's what's making your surroundings the way they are, and that's what's making your relationships the way they are, and the way you spend your energy all day, every day, the way it is. That's all. 9 of Swords. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on your journey. Don't be so hard on your wounds. Come to a sense of completion in these thoughts. Be mindful what you're giving birth to in your space with these thoughts of, you don't deserve this and you don't deserve that, because I think a lot of it is coming from the air, in a sense of air being that balance between the physical and the non-physical, and seeing what you have in the physical versus what you've been trying to work on. Like, a lot of you earth babies, y'all work on really big projects, and because you guys see so far ahead of things to be built. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have certain aspects that support that even more so. And because of that, it can put you in a space of discouragement, but you got to remind yourself like the things that you create and building in your space are huge and it take a lot more time. And not only that, you had to heal before you could build. And you're not even giving yourself credit for the things that you had to heal first. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not building something as fast as somebody who didn't have to heal from the things that you have to heal from. You know what I'm saying? You had to have make space in your life to even accept people coming into your place and working with you. You had to heal spaces in your life that made you comfortable to communicate your goals. You had to heal spaces in your life that made you comfortable to communicate, um, to fill out certain paperwork, to go in certain rooms, to feel like you deserve certain, business partnerships and purpose partnerships and personal purpose partnerships. You had to heal certain things about yourself. Even first of all, you had to gain awareness that you even need fucking healing to do the healing. And then you did the work. And you can't be upset at yourself because you had to do these extra steps that were very long, very painful, very deep, very entangled, very complex. And you're judging yourself against somebody who didn't have to do any of that. They just started going. They just started going. They started doing their thing. Hey, Salt, how you doing, beloved? They just started doing their thing. You can't compare yourself to somebody like that. You can't compare yourself to somebody who did their work years ago because they were like 30 when you were in diapers. You can't compare yourself to somebody like that either. You know what I'm saying? So you have to give yourself more grace. Give that Chiron energy more grace, more chesed energy. You know what I'm saying? Stop being so hard on yourself. Oh, I pulled two for y'all. Y'all must need a little extra shun. We got, what do we have? Tiferet, the balance. Separate balancing the Jabora, the restraint and the restrictions versus the chesed and the mercy. So y'all know resting, having joy, doing things that you love. Everything doesn't need to be a business. Everything doesn't need to be restraint. You're putting too much control into everything. You're putting control into what you love. You're putting control into your relationship with your children, with your spouse. You're putting everything is turning into this controlling business type interact transaction based everything. You don't. Everything is not a business transaction. Like you have the power to look at it that way if you want to look at it that way, but understand that that's your power that's looking at it that way. That doesn't have to be reality, and it's also showing an imbalance there as well. So be mindful of that. Your imbalance is coming from your mindset. And what we got here, we have we have Chokma, we have the wisdom, the King of Wands, fire on fire. So we want to focus on air, we'll focus on fire. Okay, the chesed, the wisdom, and the temperate, the balance. So don't get so caught up in your mindset. Again, your thoughts. It's your thoughts that's creating these things. Thoughts are creating these things. Now, what chakra are we going to focus on? This again is for my Earth babies. Wherever you have Earth in your chart, miracle to the solar plexus chakra, miracle in that space of control. That comes with trust. Like when you're not trusting when you feel like you're in control of every detail of what it is that you want to do. You're not trusting. You're not trusting the universe. You're not trusting the connection of auric bodies. You're not trusting yourself. You don't even trust yourself. You don't trust the non-physical facet of yourself to say, hey, you know what? I'm doing all this physical work, but I trust the non-physical, my energy, my intellect, my candor, like my auric body. I'm a Leo rising. Sometimes I gotta trust my Leo rising to enter a door for me and show people, hey, sunshine is here. The fuck? Like, y'all better know we in for a good time. Sometimes you gotta trust your energy to touch the other energies it needs to touch and not touch the other energies that it don't need to touch. Some of y'all be forcing yourself in rooms that y'all don't need to be in because y'all need to be in control. If I'm not in this room, da da da. No, and the energies aren't even flowing. So you gotta learn in the physical realm that the energy is not gonna work. You had to learn in the physical realm. And why didn't you just trust the universe? The universe closed that door for a reason. You couldn't go in that room for a reason. That person was giving you stink eye for a reason. It wasn't for you to keep pushing. So now you got to learn in a long and drawn out way. You shouldn't have been in that room. You shouldn't have been shaking those hands. You shouldn't have been around those people. You shouldn't have been having those experiences. All because you want to be in control. Trust. Let go, my earth babies. Put your hands in the air. Be at the top of the roller coaster. Just fall. You put the seatbelt on. You don't trust the seatbelt. You don't trust the tracks. You don't trust the people that test these drones every morning before they start their shift. You don't trust the fact you didn't trust yourself when you bought the ticket. You thought that you was gonna put yourself in danger. Thought you was gonna put yourself in danger that whole hour and some change you was in that line waiting for that damn ride. You get all the way at the top to not put your hands up and trust and have a good time. Wasting your money. You should have went and did something else that you actually gonna trust. How about that? Why not do something else that you actually trust? Think of something that you actually trust. That you don't have to be all not enjoying the situation because your hands got to be all in it all the time. Like that's like relationships too. Like, oh, that was for me. All right, here go a love reading for y'all. since y'all always trying to pull these shits out of me. Being in a relationship. I've been in a relationship where like I didn't trust this person. I didn't trust shit about them. I trusted them to make me a sandwich. I knew that my sandwich was going to be popping and not poisoned. But outside of that, I didn't trust this motherfucker. I knew every time this person went outside, they was cheating on me. I just knew it. I trusted my intuition. I trusted that motherfucker was going to disappoint me. That's what I trusted. And I was never wrong. And I created a reality where that was happening all the time. I didn't make this person comfortable coming home. This person didn't even want to be around me no more because I didn't trust this person. And so I'm creating this reality. They're creating this reality. It's just like a chicken and egg theory. Who did it first? It doesn't matter. We're both creating this reality. But me being accountable, I created this reality because I started giving off the energy that I didn't trust. I'm being controlling. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to control the situation. I'm going through your phone. I'm trying to have conversations based upon what I went through in your phone about. I'm trying to tell you how what you're doing making me feel because it made me feel that way. You shouldn't do it. I'm controlling everything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it that way. Of course. Because in my mind, I'm the victim. Why are you doing this to me? But being present, being accountable for my contribution and the energy exchange, yeah, that's control. You know what I'm saying? I didn't trust you, so I'm trying to control you. Same thing with your kids. You don't trust your kids, what you gonna do? You control them. I need you in the house by this time. I don't want you hanging out with that person. Come straight home after school. I'm over here all up in the schools. I'm up here all up in your friend's business. I'm reading your shit. I'm going through your bedrooms. Why? Because you don't trust that child. That child's gonna go out here in this world and disappoint you. They're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. You don't trust. So what we don't trust, we try to control. The government don't trust us. They like these motherfuckers gonna fuck it up. They they was gonna fuck it up. They're gonna be out here stealing and raping and shooting and stabbing it. We don't trust them. And if they're not gonna do it to each other, they're gonna do it to our rich asses. They hate us. We don't trust them. So what do? We got police patrolling the streets. I got laws, I got statutes, I got legalese, I got a whole different language that I'm not even teaching y'all how to speak because I don't even want y'all to learn that y'all can get y'all freedom. I don't want y'all to learn shit. I want y'all to go to my schools and I'm gonna teach y'all what I want y'all to know. Don't bother going over here. You can go to my colleges. I got colleges set up for you. You want to learn this over here? I got it. They're controlling everything. You ain't no explorer. You ain't going outside and petting lions and tigers and bears to find out firsthand how they behave. You're not going to different countries firsthand to discover things on yourself. You're not creating your own documentaries and shit. Some of y'all are. Kudos to y'all. I love it here. But a lot of y'all aren't. Because y'all be in control. Why? Because y'all underneath a government that doesn't trust you. Your job don't trust you. That's why they go through your phone. That's why you got hours that you need to clock in and out. An hour you could take your lunch. And I tell you when to take your lunch. That's why you got drug tests and you got cameras and the phones is being recorded and you got secret shoppers and the less that the business trusts you, the more they try to control you. Now you need clear bags when you come in and you gotta wear a certain kind of clothes when you come in and you're getting patted down and now it's machines that you gotta walk through. That's levels of trust that's not existence on a 222. That level of trust that doesn't exist in your business, in your government, in your corporation, in your economics, and in your relationships, in your household, with your children, with your parents, with your spouse. And my earth babies, y'all not trusting enough if y'all trying to control everything. You set a goal. This is your goal. Now trust yourself to do the goal, not just on the physical, but on the non-physical. I know you can get caught up in the physical. Oh, if I don't see it, if I don't see the results, if I do a couple push-ups and I don't see the muscles in the mirror right after, I didn't do no push-ups. I'm gonna go do some more. If I fasted all day today and I look in the mirror and my waistline's still the same, I didn't fast enough. Like, be careful with that. Be careful with that. I give like silly examples, but when y'all listen to what I'm saying, y'all know what I mean. And this is for anywhere Earth is in your chart. Don't get so caught up. Don't get so caught up, y'all. All right, let me give y'all divinity card and I'm gonna let y'all out. Good transformations. And you got it on a 69, a Cancer number, divine reflection and balance. 6 between the Tippereth, the 9 with the Yasad, the divine womb. Okay, so fire and water. My earth babies, I want y'all to focus on your Chiron, your wounded space. Right now is in Aries, new beginnings there, and the Jupiter, which right now is in Taurus energy, giving us expansion in our heart chakra realm. We're going to nurture that space. We're going to nurture that expansion, our sacral chakra and our joy. And we're going to nurture how we transmute our wounds into strengths. We are going to stop judging ourselves so much. Like, y'all doing too much. Y'all want to be sad. Y'all addicted to the sadness. I don't know what's going on here, but cut it the fuck out. This is not it. Pick your chin up, pick your head up, stop the bullshit. You are doing a great job. You have very big goals, and those goals take a really long time. And kudos to you for being slow and steady and staying on your path and learn to trust. When you learn to trust, you will stop trying to control so much. Y'all even be out here trying to control time. You can't control time. You're trying to control stuff that's not even in alignment with the physical to being controlled by the physical. That's not yours. Fuck off. Chill out. Especially because I get it. We went through an Earth energy and it was very exciting, and we wanted to be in Earth, and we wanted Earth to be Earth, and we wanted Earth to be bigger. Seemed like we flew through Virgo season so fast, went by so fast. And I get it. At the end of the Earth energy, you didn't harvest everything that you wanted to harvest, but that's what the moon cycles are for. That's what the nature cycles are for. We have a whole 365 cycle that we're going through right now. We have a whole 2024 cycle we're going through right now. We have a Vedic chart cycle that we're going through right now. It doesn't have to be in this particular 28, 30 days. It didn't have to be in this particular year. Y'all got to trust the numbers and the stars and trust your auric body that everything's going to lock in at that perfect time for you to get what you need. But if you're not trusting and you rushing and you allowing the elements outside of yourself rush you and rush the natural process of things, it's not going to come into fruition the way you want it. It's going to be attached to some bullshit shit, and you're going to be upset because not only did you not give it enough time for it to manifest in your space, you didn't give yourself enough time to be detailed in your manifestation, to really like fine tune your energy towards what it is that you want and realize when it's in your space to have it versus when something is kind of similar but you ain't there yet and you need to go sit over there. You know what I'm saying? Um, my homegirl Claudia, shouts to Claudia, talked to her recently. She does human design, so anybody that's interested in human design, hit up the homie Claudia. Also Adonis. Those are two readers. But coming back to Claudia, I remember the first time I met her, she had said some dope shit. And I keep that played in my mind. And she was like, you go to the restaurant, whatever, and you order steak and you want a steak, but then they bring out chicken. And you gonna sit up there and eat the chicken when you ask for steak. And you're like, oh, I'm hungry. Let me just get what they gave me because they gave it to me, and I want to be nice, and I don't want to ruffle nobody's feathers, and I don't want to be an inconvenience, and I don't want to tell nobody to cook me something. That's not what you ordered. That's not what you ordered. So what told you in your mind that that was for you? You just gravitating on shit because it came into your space and it looks similar to what you. Oh, it's food. It's an animal. It's going to satisfy my hunger. Okay, but that's not what you ordered. So stop grabbing on stuff that's not yours just to say you got something. Stop doing that. You are worthy of what you asked for. So wait for what you asked for and let it naturally come to you. You know what I'm saying? Get into your numbers and stars and planets and stuff like that. If you need a map to give you a precise time or whatever, do that. Um, Focus on that Tippereth, the balance between the physical and the non-physical. The mercy and the Jabora the kindness and the restriction you give yourself, and also focus on that chesed, on that wisdom. Miracle in the solar plexus chakra. So as you enforce things in your space, trust. Good transformations underfoot. And that's what I got for you, my Earth babies. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this Hump Day reading, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Well, now we're in Thursday. We're in the day of Obatala, giving us that sacral chakra energy. We're in a day of 9268. You know, it's a day of 8 and a year of 8, so we get double eights today. Finding balance on that 6, finding balance on that health, wealth, wellness, and daily routine. So yesterday, or the 25th, was a day of 6. So now we're finding wisdom on that 6, right? Being the day of 26. Some of y'all need to go to sleep real quick and wake back up for it to be the 26 for y'all, like myself. But now we're finding wisdom on that 6. All right. Bringing us to the 8 of empowerment, solar plexus chakra, transformations, things of that nature. We're going to put that into the 9. We're going to give harvest, let it be born. And that's going to bring us back down to 1 and 7, right? Because 8 and 9 is 17. So that 1 and 7 come back down. We got knowledge on God. You know, we got the Ketters on the celestial technicians on how we want to design these things in our space that, you know, we now have wisdom when we want to implement in our health, wellness, and daily routine. Now that it's being born, now we're getting the details. Now we're designing it out. Now we're making it pretty. And we're feeling good about it. And it's fun here. And that still brings us to the 8 energy, right? Still brings us to 8 energy. And so we're going to take that transformation to 8. So now we got a third 8, right? This is our third 8. We get 3 8s today. We're going to take that and put it into the year of 8, which brings us to 1 and 6. Overall, today's day is 7. Today's day of victory. Today's day of the celestial designers. Today is the day of Venusian energy. And so paying attention to your heart chakra, making sure your heart is as light as a feather and there's balance there in the physical and the non-physical realm. What's going on the inside should stay on the inside. It should be reflected on the outside. And the outside should not have an effect on the inside. The outside should be seen as a reflection on the inside. And if I don't like what's going on the outside and it's making me feel some way on the inside, then I need to fix what's going on the inside to reflect on the outside. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? And we move in gratitude for the ability to be able to do that, the strength and power to be able to do that. Um, you know, do your things on the 7s. Make sure you're in alignment. 7 is associated with Libra scales, the balance in the scales. Make sure your heart is light and feather, keeping you closer to God. Spiritual intellect is key here, you know, especially if you experience these 3 8s. The portal is open. Some people will be going into the cosmos today. Don't be surprised. As the portal is open for that. 8 also deals with death, not just rebirth, y'all. 8 also deals with the pendulum swinging and power and lines being drawn in the mud. So expect, you know, some different opposing views to come up on certain things today. Be mindful of how your energy exchanges with people and how y'all communicate y'all opposing views. The goal is to stay the homeostasis in the middle, so to remain respectful. There's a lot of temptation here, especially with trolling and all that stuff like that, for people to go low. But don't do those low lows, y'all. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. In all facets, all situations, and all things, peace is the goal. That's the goal with all the Sephiroth. That's the goal with the chakras. That's the goal with our material realms. That's the goal with the non-physical realm. What was it? A camel has a better chance getting through the eye of a needle than a rich man into the gates of heaven. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's nice to want to create all these things in our space. You know what I'm saying? Have all these things. Be super passionate in our energy exchanges, my fire babies. Be super in the spiritual realm and say to hell with the physical realm to my water babies. Be all up in your intellect all over the place to my air babies, or be super in the physical to my air babies. It's easy for y'all to flow in that. But what y'all supposed to be learning with y'all sun signs in those spaces, the sun is associated with your ego. And a lot of y'all be chatting about ego death, but as soon as we start talking about zodiacs, the first thing and the only thing y'all want to talk about is y'all sun sign. All y'all talk about is y'all ego. All y'all based upon is y'all ego. You got to learn about your other aspects to see how your ego is being supported. You know what I'm saying? And find that homeostasis in the middle with your ego. Because it's here to help us survive, go through our experiences, you know, how we're doing it and stuff like that. But it also needs to be regulated with the other planets, other celestial bodies that we have, which the sun is. Our sun is heavily regulated by the other celestial bodies that we have. That's pulling on it and giving it the equal opposite energy so that it can stay a certain temperature, so that it can move in a certain way, so that it can rise or fall a certain way. We all need each other. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with your temperate, the sun. You gotta go through the sun to get up here, to Trinity up here. All right. But the sun is connected to all your other sephira. Your heart is connected to all the other organs in your body through the veins and arteries and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your heart is the divine situation where the wisdom is at, the balance between restraint and kindness. And if you ever find yourself moving into a space where you're giving too much kindness, you need to go back to your heart. If you find yourself in a space where you're giving up too much restraint, go back to your heart. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, I got a good heart, I got a good heart. Yeah, you giving up too much. Your heart ain't that good. It's overactive. Let's chill. You know what I'm saying? You are in charge of your reality, whether you're a super good person getting stomped on or you're a super negative person stomping. You know what I'm saying? It's still based upon your heart and how well your balance is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like what's going on outside of you or around you, change what's in your heart. Tell yourself what you are worth and what your value is, and be willing to enforce that in your space, because that Tiphareth is connected to all your Sephiroth. So that means you have the ability to allow that Tiphareth to flow through all your other Sephiroth and tell them what they got to do in order to get that reality to be what you desire it to be. You know what I'm saying? And be patient with the process of it all. And that's what I got for you today on today's Hump Day reading. I really appreciate y'all for tapping in, for y'all checking in and all that. So I'm gonna end you over here on YouTube. Yeah, it's been real. I appreciate y'all. I love